Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Track Limits Racing. It's 2025 season number 2. We're back at Daytona, Daytona Road Course. With me in the booth for this season is going to be Logan. And
hello.
Phil, also here with us.
Hey, how's that going, everybody?
As we get here, I had something prepared. I don't know where it went. So bear with us. 1 second. Welcome to Track Limits Racing. We are back for another exciting season, kicking off the new inclusion of GT3s into the LMP3 and GT4 format with some fantastic new faces to the grid, as well as a bunch of favorites coming back for another exciting season. Not much has changed in terms of the way the race format itself works. Still 20-minute heat races and 70-minute feature races for most of the weekends, minus our mid-season special at Road America in a few weekends' time, as well as our finale at Indianapolis. So, while we're getting through the last couple minutes of practice here, let's hop over to some racing action. As you see there, all the great stats for Daytona as it is underway already. And it's hit a couple buttons here. We'll do the thing. Fantastic back in the booth with y'all. Logan, welcome. I know you're a new face to this lovely broadcasting place.
Excited to be here.
Fantastic. What are you thinking about your switch from racing to the booth?
I don't know. It's going to be kind of different. Watching the guys I've raced with every other week is going to be kind of fun. We know, at least in the GT4s, I won't be causing any wrecks, so we're going to be happy there. But, no, it should be good.
That is very fair. Phil, welcome back to the booth. Happy to have you back. Mr. Whelpcakes, I should also say. Are you thrilled for another season of Track Limits Racing and watching cars go in fancy squiggly circles?
I'm always here for fancy squiggly circles, especially when they are occupied by cars. And we have a lot of cars occupying this squiggly circle. With that introduction of the GT3 field, that is going to add some interesting spice to the multi-class racing. Real quick, if it would be okay, I'd like to give a shout out to a couple people. Yeah. We have VRL Kieran and Simulations both followed in the last few minutes. And we've got some resubs from Jaden himself also. So thanks to everybody for the support, as always. But yeah, GT3s around here with GT4 and LMP3 machinery is going to be exciting.
I could not agree more. We may / may not, I have neither confirmed nor denied the presence of one Ethan Hamlet joining us in the booth here for a couple minutes to explain how the new GT3s are settling in, but we'll see whether or not he shows up. In the meantime, we have a fantastic grid of cars. I know we talked about it, but a little bit of a a more thorough rundown of the cars we have. LMP3s are back. Our entry list as it stands includes 15 drivers. Of those 15, I think we have 13 on track.
Mm-hmm.
Or 12 or 13 floating around. And with that, 26 GT4s. It's a pretty big grid.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty big. Yeah,
for sure. That is going to be pretty big. It is split into a Pro and Am championship, same as every previous season. A fun thing I love to see continue habits. It's always some of the most interesting racing we see at the end of the season is seeing who gets the podium positions in GT4 Pro and AM and seeing where those battles, how they've lasted all season. So I'm stoked to see those come back once again. And
I was going to ask, sir.
Certainly.
Could we get the track map up on screen for folks so they can kind of see what the distribution of cars are right now? See a bunch of, you might just see a bunch of dots. You see a bunch of dots on pit road. Not a lot of people out on track right now, but once the race starts, that's going to be a little crowded.
that will be a little crowded. The fun part about this is that there will be split starting for each class. So not when the green flag waves for the LMP3s, the GT3s, and the GT4s will have their own kind of start zone, in with how this track is laid out. It's the fantastic, I believe, Geico restart zone of the NASCAR oval races. It's also the place that they will start for those two classes, as well as the LMP3s, to be fair. They just also get the fancy green flag to go with it. And so I will confirm that next week, not next weekend, but next racing weekend, so 2 weekends time, we'll have a quick interview with Ethan Hamlet about how the GT3s are settling in and how that fun addition to Track Limits for Season 2 will take shape. Logan, what are your thoughts on the new edition of the GT3s? I know we've kind of talked about them a little bit more generally, but as a driver here, what are your thoughts on the new season?
The speeds between the GT4s and the LMP3s, the GT3s and the LMP3s is not all that far out. The GT4s, the top GT3 is only like 0.2 off of what the lowest LMP3 is running. So that's going to be some craziness when they get near each other on the track. Other than that, GT4s are just going to have to manage 2 classes of faster traffic now and not just the LMP3s. So there's going to be some chaotic stuff going on with them.
Yeah. It's very true.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Yeah.
I'll say, do you have anything to add there?
Well, I was going to say, so the thing that I was actually kind of thinking about now that we've been talking about it, like with the speed differential, it might be a little while before LMP3s even get close to a second cycle on backmarker GT3 traffic.
Oh, fair.
So that actually could be really interesting. It could be it could be mostly those 2 classes navigating around GT4s for a majority of the race. And then, I suspect once we get to the feature race, we'll really know how often they're going to be cycling around. So that'll be interesting to see. Yeah.
Fantastic. I agree. I'm curious to see how, like, Jaden's done a lot of testing, and I'm curious to see how all that testing, whether or not the testing matches the actual application of the actual racing in the racecraft. So,
indeed. Finn, I'm kind of curious. So with the new format, the way that it is, we've run fuel limitations with the different car classes in the past. What's the fuel limitation? Have there been any changes, or are the values static for LMP3 GT4 this year?
No changes for the LMP3 GT4. The GT3s mirror the LMP3s, in terms of having a 50% fuel capacity. So not something they'll have to worry about for that 20-minute heat race, but for that 70-minute feature race. There we go. Words, English, I can do that. They have the same kind of 1 to 2 stop looking at based on how long those fuel tanks usually last for GT3 machinery. So, but I don't think we have any changes for LMP3s or GT4s. Still at 50% for LMP3s and 45% for GT4s, respectively.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. I mean, I think the pit strategy when we get into that feature race is going to be quite the show, especially because I don't really know yet with a 50% tank versus a 45% tank when comparing GT3s, GT4s. Or the LMP3s at 50%. Like, where is their pit cycles? Where are they going to land? And that's going to be, I think, also another thing that's going to add a level of interest to how the blue flags come into play.
Yeah.
So
and how the classes will. I was saying, and that's definitely how the classes will manage traffic and when the pit window opens.
For sure, for sure.
Pit road's gonna be so busy.
In certain times it will be. So, let's see here. Usually, at this point in the broadcast, while they are doing a driver's briefing, which will probably be a little bit longer, first race of the season. I know Jaden likes to put a little bit extra care into that, make sure everybody knows and is on the same page. Probably going over those the starting zones for each of the classes, which technically isn't the restart zone. It is the entry of pit road, that little second white line that marks out where that entry of pit road ends, which is fantastically near the restart zone that I mentioned earlier, but technically is not where it is.
Yeah.
So we will have to. Usually at this point, we'll have plenty of opportunities there for cars to jump on track and turn laps for qualifying once the driver's briefing is done. Though I do see a Brandon. Is this a rogue Brandon Potts just driving out on the track? I think it is.
Is he seriously?
There is a rogue Brandon Potts.
What is BP doing?
Brandon Potts is.
Brandon Potts, you have been identified.
Has gone rogue. He is not in the lobby for driver's briefing.
Homie. Like, you got to qualify with the rest of your class, man. This man is classless. Give that man a penalty.
End of grid penalty. No. Setting a good lap time though, but I mean he's also on his own. So.
And this is just a reminder for the drivers that are listening to the stream is that you should probably be in the briefing right now.
Yes.
Instead of listening to us. Just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. Pay attention to the broadcast, not the broadcast, to Jaden talking about the important things for drivers.
William Lewis is also currently on the track.
Well, all right.
Same with,
yep. Stop the count. Yep. Brandon Potts, only person to qualify.
Oh boy. So
we're off a fantastic start. This is good.
Yeah, dude, it's rip roaring. We're firing on many cylinders. I definitely had everything put together. And it definitely didn't come apart at the last minute. The usual part of this broadcast, which this is kind of the odd week off because again, this is the first week of the new season. We don't have a whole lot of standings to talk about. For 2025 season 2.
Well, I mean, if you want, like one thing we can talk about is we do still have, if I remember correctly from looking at the announcements page, we do still have some openings, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
In the sports car series, I believe in the GT4 field, I believe there are still slots open. So if you guys want to get involved, be sure and follow us on Discord. You can do !Discord and chat. That should still pull up the Discord link. If it doesn't, I can always post it again. But yeah, join the Discord, be a part of the action, be a part of the folks in chat, and sign-ups are in the announcement channel. You can hit up the Dyno GG link in the announcements channel. Sign up, get into the GT4 field, start mixing up with the folks on track. Should be a lot of fun. Brandon Potts is going to qualify with the GT4s.
Gosh,
what
the
a legend.
GT4s are coming out.
You know what? You know what it is? I think I figured it out. I think Brandon Potts is just like, wait a minute. I'm in the McLaren. It's a GT4. I'm going to qualify it like so. He may have just figured it out. He may have just figured it
out. And we're going to hop over to Christopher Blue, one of the fantastic GT4 AM podium finishers of last season, if I'm remembering my podiums correctly. And he is on his outlap now. We hop over to the right things on the right stuff, so that way we get some cool racing action. Look at Brandon Potts there, top of the timing board, because he qualified when he shouldn't have. Jameson Lekenby as well, also out, I think a little early, but everybody else is making their way out onto the banking. And we'll do a quick ride along with Christopher Blue, see what a lap in the GT4 class will look like. Just, also remember that there will be other classes probably trying to pass them at some point or another, which I'm sure we'll see plenty of that as well over the course of this evening. As he comes out of the bus stop. The bus stop, notoriously hairy, right, Logan, in the GT4s?
Oh, God. The Merc, I have known that shift down to the third, coming into the middle of it, has a chance to upset the car and just send you butt over tea kettle into the sidewall. So it's fun.
That It definitely doesn't sound like it's fun, but fun to talk about.
Right.
As Chris Blue diving into the first part of the infield, not really taking the kind of quote-unquote esports line we've been seeing a lot lately. A couple times not quite hitting the board. I'm curious if those are outlaps that just got labeled erroneously. But working his way through the infield. Phil, are you a big Daytona road course fan?
I love the Daytona road course. Daytona 24 is legendary.
The best.
One of these days I need to get down there and actually see a race. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah, I also really enjoy it for sim racing as well, especially iRacing, because getting to see all the different car classes and stuff like that racing throughout the various seasons in iRacing are a lot of fun. Unless there's like a meta car and then it's just like, like there was like one season where it was like 30 Porsches and GT3 and nothing else. It was like, which I'm sure Retro heard that. He's been summoned. Someone mentioned Porsche, so he just like pops out from the ceiling tile.
Bust out the ceiling tile.
But yeah, he's like the Kool-Aid man, only for German sports cars.
More Porsche.
Yep.
Ooh.
But yeah, anyway, Daytona Road Course, very. I love how deceptively technical the circuit is. Like at first blush, people tend to over push into some of the infield sections. I'm really interested to see what the LMP3s do with this mixed up traffic, especially when GT3s are in the mix. How many of them are going to lock up the rears and turn into a hockey puck? We'll find out. Stay tuned.
We will. Chris Blue coming across the line, not setting a time there. Lee Wu, however, GT4 Pro, setting the first time on the board with 153.655 for the GT4 Pro category. GT4 AM, William Lewis with 154.277.
Red 153.579 right now at the top of the board.
So that puts a Merc on the top right now of GT4 Pro with William Lewis leading GT4 AM in a Porsche. And Brandon Potts leading GT3 GT3 Bronze League with a 46-1.
GT3 Bronze League. Is that just everybody who qualifies before they're supposed to?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that I was correct on the number of drivers that were in GT4 Bronze League at the moment.
Yep.
This is like a rating. This is like an FIA rating that they have.
Yes.
In addition to being a GT3 classification driver, they're also a GT3 Bronze League.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
That's this is official. I mean, everything about track limits racing in the sports car series totally official.
Gotcha, yes.
Basically, we are FIA unsanctioned. It's very professional. So
are we still on 3 laps for qualifying for this season?
We are 3 laps for qualifying. Eduardo Zamora in a Aston Martin this season.
Yeah,
a fantastic adjustment.
Yep.
Yeah. Setting a blistering 155.16, putting him in 7th in GT4 Pro. Yeah, man.
Oh, that pile just hit the wall coming out of the bus stop.
Ooh.
Man, I'm telling you, the things that we're going to be seeing when it comes down to folks going into the bus stop and overcooking it, it's going to be fantastic. It's just going to be littered with parts.
It will be.
Squib03 with the follow. Thank you so much. You wouldn't happen to be the squib in the LMP3 now, would you? If so, good luck with your race. Glad to see a new face. So yeah, super exciting.
We have a bunch of new faces in the LMP3 field, which is fantastic.
So Finn, with the calendar that we've got this season, which races are? I mean, we talked about how the road course is amazing. Which of the races on the schedule, however, are you looking forward to?
I think my top 2. I've had to put 2 out. It's going to be the 3rd and 4th weeks. We're going to Interlagos on race week number 3. It'll be June 21st on the actual calendar day. It's going to be a very busy day for me because it's also a weekend of Origins. I will be working a convention in addition to this nonsense.
Oh boy!
And then following up after that, 3 weeks later, on July 19th, we will be at... Oh, buttons. There we go. I will be at Road America for our mid-season special, 120 minutes of Road America.
Cool.
I love Road America. It is a fantastically... It's not a very, I would say, incredibly difficult course to like be halfway decent at, but it's definitely a course that has a lot of nuance and a lot of fun cornering that I think will be applied here as we watch
We got some bump drafting
some
going
bump
on
drafting
there.
happening for Christopher Blue as well as Zachary Fisher. I see both of them making their way down the start-finish stretch to help boost Christopher Blue up the start-finish line.
We are witnessing GT4 Voltron come across the line, and
Neither of those times count because those are 0x's for both of them. And
yeah, that is unfortunate. But Christopher Blue still fourth in GT4. I'm seeing him in GT4 AM. Actually,
Yeah.
we got GT4 AM currently running faster than Pro.
No,
Am I seeing that correctly?
No, you need to update yours. Remember, that was Tyler
yes.
Toolville is a GT4 Pro member.
I was like, wait a minute, I've got something going wrong here, and I do, which is normal per usual.
I mean, I probably
Usually.
also have something wrong here. I don't have Christopher Blue is in GT4 AM and is doing some sick donuts for us since we still have him on the broadcast. The last couple drivers of GT4 Pro and AM, Dave Lively, in the F1 pace car, which has gracefully been lent to Dave Lively for the weekend to drive in Daytona. Definitely a place I would find fascinating to see how F1 cars handle the banking.
Oh, that would be so much fun to watch.
And he sets a pretty decent time of a 156.43, only 3.5 tenths off of Dave Schneider in GT4 AM.
Are we growing the Track Limits Racing family tree? Any relation between Michael Lively
I
and...
believe Dave Lively is Michael Lively's father, but I have to double check that. Give me 1 second to triple check.
I mean, that all I got to say is between the Newmans, the Livelies, my dad's in chat, just chilling out. So yeah, we got the whole fam damly here, as we would say in the South.
The whole, yes, father-son is what I'm being told by chat. By multiple individuals, including, I believe, the user of the actual person saying that we're talking about. There are, I believe, 3 father-son combos in this league at this point.
That's absolutely crazy.
And then 4 including Mr. Whelpcakes, Phil, and Whelpstad, who is in the chat.
Yep.
So we have 4 father-son combos.
Father-dad.
Father-dad combos. Dave Lively still turning a couple
We went
laps.
from no, it's still never mind.
Oh man! So with quali coming to an end here, we got the GT3s. They're starting to make their way out on track.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to get spicy now. Getting some GT3 action on track for the first time.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find... Nope. Sean Sullivan pulled over.
Can anyone beat
Super
Brandon
helpful.
Potts' time of a 46.1? Is the question.
Bruno Clemente. Let's see. Who are we? Retro Cafa. Juan Rodriguez. Who we should rename and whatchamacallit. Let's ride along with Retro Cafa. See how he handles a lap here at the Daytona.
Nice
course.
looking Porsche.
It is a fantastic look. Oh, thank you, game. I thank you, iRacing Live Timing. I greatly appreciate that you take every input that I give you and not the right ones that I want you to get to use. That makes too much sense. Goes on to the banking. NASCAR 2, which is very wild to me that there's an entire infield between NASCAR 1 and NASCAR 2.
Mm-hmm. Retro.
Yes.
The the resident Porsche enjoyer. Going into the bus stop. He's keeping it well composed. I think Retardo's going to be pretty quick this year in the Porsche. He's usually pretty quick in general, but I was watching his free practice times. He's pretty close to the front.
All right. And as he comes out of NASCAR 3 and 4, we'll dive on board. Take a quick lap with him. So, big things to note, I think, for the GT3s is they'll be a little bit faster in the straights than the GT4s will. They have a little more downforce overall. But I think we'll see a lot of GT3 and LMP3 shenanigans in some of the slower corners where the LMP3s have a little bit more downforce to rotate the car easier. Using all 6 gears as he gets out of the first hairpin.
I mean, he's in the Porsche. He bought him. Might as well use them all.
That's very true. Pay for 6 gears and you use 6 gears.
Ooh.
Good composition as he's getting. I mean, he's very composed when he's going through the corners. The car's very compliant. Not seeing a lot of twitching. Porsche is not wanting to do Porsche things. Turn rear end and front end, that stuff. You know.
Porsche things bites me in the rear all the time. I started racing the Porsche and GT3s, and there are a few tracks, Suzuka, the carousel at Road America, that rear end just wants to kick out every damn time.
I feel like you have to take the kink in Road America as well very differently in a Porsche than you do any other GT3 or GT4.
Absolutely. I just haven't learned how to yet.
Okay. We got a purple sector. Got a purple sector for him as he's going through sector 4 right now, and he's going to come across the line. And is Brandon Potts under threat?
Bruno Clemente is slower.
Bruno Clemente. Yeah.
Retro Coffin setting the fastest time by half a second to Brandon Potts' unsanctioned qualifying laps.
He had some audio issues going on, and he didn't hear the call to the driver briefing. So as he was trying to fix that.
But he's raced with us before. He knows how qualifying works.
I'm aware.
Okay. Other times coming in for GT3
Oh,
drivers.
Ethan Hamlet just set a time 44.81.
Fantastic. 0.2 or 1.5 tenths, excuse me, faster than Gab Chavez, another lovely LMP3 driver. We've had a couple LMP3 drivers divert over to GT3. Not as many as we had from GT4, but both people, all individuals from previous seasons, now filling out the new class as they get across the line. Kyle Potter as well with that 145.24. Tommy Kogan. We have such a great breadth of manufacturers. You can see them all along there. Another thing as we added for this season of the broadcast, we popped out the different manufacturers for our cars that have them. We'll see a lot of the Ligier branding for our LMP3 category because there is only one brand of car for the LMP3s.
Right.
We have such a good breadth of GT3 representation. We have everything from the Porsche, like we have Retro Coffin here, as well as the GT3 Mercedes, something we talked about before the broadcast, at least I have said, I don't see too much of in league racing anymore.
I'm very interested to see how the field, what the field kind of looks like when we get to the end of the season. Is it clear that a particular manufacturer has the edge from a balance or performance perspective, or just has the edge because you're Ethan Hamlet? We'll probably we'll learn some stuff before the end of the season, I'm sure. And then, like you were saying before, there can really only be one manufacturer that wins the LMP3 category. So
yes,
It'll be exciting to see how that unfolds.
I'm very excited for the LMP3 manufacturers championship. I think it'll be a very very tight battle between all the manufacturers there. No, but
we really are firing on all cylinders right now.
Dude, we are.
Are we tracking the manufacturers for GT3 as well as GT4 this season?
That we are.
Excellent.
So we will be seeing that fire up. I will have to do a lot more championship numbers work to make it look cool. So thank you for tripling my workload, Jaden. No, I'm kidding. But I will. But I do have a goal. It was kind of in the background of last season, but I would like to make it a little bit more available on the broadcast for this season. So in an effort to do that, and then also with the new class, it is more spreadsheets I get to stare at and make sure all the numbers match up with other spreadsheets.
I've been hearing that the secret to making your league more professional is adding more spreadsheets. Just putting spreadsheets on spreadsheets.
Freaks in the sheets.
Yep.
Yes.
That is my stage name. How did you know? So yeah, with the GT3s getting ready to come to an end here. Wow, that was close.
That was a good line from Tommy Kogan.
Tommy Kogan in a Corvette. It's going to be interesting not seeing Tommy in an Aston Martin.
Yes, we want to see Tommy in an Aston Martin. We won't see Bruno Clemente in a Mercedes GT4.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bruno Clemente, one of the last drivers to work on setting a faster lap time, as a lot of our LMP3 drivers are starting to make their way down to pit road to take to the track for the last bit of qualifying.
Shout out to Trace KY for the follow. Thank you so much for the support.
Yes,
appreciate it. Got 36 people in chat right now watching us this broadcast and watching these fine drivers turn laps around squiggly circles.
Laps around squiggly circles. A fantastic night for it at I would say very iconic multi-class race.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
I would agree.
Let's see here. You know what? Let's look at this bump cam. Just want to see what it looks like. I don't see it very often. I'm not going to keep it there, but I was just curious. Bruno Clemente coming down to pit road to wrap up GT3 qualifying. Any surprising names there, Phil, for GT3 placement of drivers?
Anthony Newman. He had some struggles last season. Bounced around from class to class. Couldn't really find his footing. In GT3 running the Ferrari. And currently sitting less than 2/10 off Ethan Hamlin. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting seeing him this close to Ethan, because once the race starts and Ethan dumps the bodies out of the back of his car, it's running really light. It's going to be very interesting to see how close people get to Ethan here at the end. Also, I mean, Kyle Potter was pretty quick. GT3 as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. It's just the thing that I'm really looking forward to is I'm just really looking forward to seeing how the drivers that have stuck with us from season to season, getting the opportunity to get a crack at the GT3 field. It's just going to be a lot of fun to watch.
That it is. It'll also be a lot of fun to watch the LMP3s navigated their way around the GT3s. And as they do so, also navigate their way around qualifying. So,
yep.
One last group of cars that need to go around to set themselves
LMP3.
up. Yes. With that, we're looking at the last season's LMP3 champion of the season, Scott Fleming. And
he is getting set up, doing his outlap right now, and then we're going to get some time lapse in LMP3. They get 3 laps, correct?
Yes, each class gets 3 laps to set a qualifying time. And I figure since we've done it with a couple other classes, we'll dive on board with them as well. See what the difference for them is in terms of what they will be going through over a lap versus the other 2 classes that we just saw. Which I think, and Phil, you can correct me if I'm wrong, big difference there, and I've said it before, I'm going to double check myself here as well, is that they've just got a little more downforce and have a little bit of better acceleration. So we dive on board, see what a lap looks like. A late apex. I don't think that was the ideal line for him there. for LMP3s.
Yeah, I think everything that you described them as pretty spot on. The thing about LMP3 that's going to be a trick in comparison to the GT3s that are going to be out on track is I think the GT3 drivers are going to be able to extract their average pace out of the cars a lot more easily because the aids and the assistance that you get from the GT3 systems more reliable than the LMP3 typically. The LMP3 is like dancing on the head of a pin pretty much lap after lap. And the ABS system, it's a system. I don't really know if it does any AB, but
well, I mean,
and then go ahead.
Have ABS?
Yeah,
Oh, excuse me,
LMP3s
not
don't
ABS.
have
The traction control
TC,
system
yeah.
is the one where it's like you basically exit a corner and put your foot down on the throttle, and the traction control system is like, am I a toaster? Am I a microwave? Oh no, I'm a traction control system. And then usually it figures itself out a little too late, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's been my experience from driving it as well. A lot of the traction control moments that I feel like I have, or it's a lot of too little, too late, or too much, too early, and it's never the right amount when I really want it.
Mm-hmm.
So once the tires heat up a little bit, it gets a little bit better, but I would have to agree with you there. But like we saw on this lap here, diving through a fantastic opening lap for Scott Fleming. We'll see him, I think.
No, he might have X'd somewhere.
That might have been.
We got Michael Bowen at the top of the list with a 43. Ooh, Vincent LaRue with a 42.248. Yep.
LaRue? Yeah, Vincent LaRue.
Yeah.
He was a rocket last year.
He is. He's always a rocket. He's pretty quick. See how well they all get on. Jack Wilkins coming in third at the moment. Mike Bowen splitting the difference between those two, setting a lap time of a 143.07, about a solid 0.8 behind Vincent LaRue with a 142.25. So I think it'll be a little bit of a game of recovery for Scott Fleming as well as a couple of other drivers that have a little bit slower lap times. But Michael Lively setting purple sectors there in sectors 1 and 3. Let's see, jump over and see what his lap looks like. He's coming into the bus stop, one of the more technical sections. A little bit easier than the GT4s. You got a little bit more downforce to contend with, but no less deadly if you get it wrong. Big usage of the curbs for all of these three classes. He keeps it planted,
Nice.
keeps the foot in. He's on to NASCAR 3 and 4. Now, Logan, you've not done much prototype driving, have you?
I have not. It's on my list of things to do, but I just
Fair
have
enough.
not got to it yet. I have done a few laps here in Bathurst in this car, so it's a fun car. Just not my cup of tea yet.
Understandable. Michael Lively coming in with that 143 or 142.93. But unfortunately, still 6.8 tenths behind Vincent LaRue's blistering lap time. Jaden Ledbetter also coming in, now taking third position away from Jack Wilkins and Mike Bowen with a 143.00. Mark Coyne, hardest working man in sim racing, as said to us by Phil. Solid start for him. We'll see. Consistency has always been, I think, Mark's strong suit from previous seasons. I think that'll likely be the case today. Phil, do you also believe that to be the case?
Yeah, I mean, when Mark Coyne's like real life schedule and stuff like that lines up with sim racing schedule, he tends to be one of the folks that's nose to the grindstone. Just turns laps, very predictable. Somebody. Gab just referred to Jaden as Black Flag Ledbetter.
Flag Ledbetter. Oh no.
Oh wow.
Okay, so no, he's saying Black
fired.
Flag, like DQ him. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just like a nickname.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, it's pretty good. We've got the moral of the story is for everybody that's watching at home. We got a good, consistent group that show up season after season. by and large, I mean, we've got just really good drivers, level-headed. Very rarely do we have like dramatic nonsense on track. And it's just a good community to be a part of. So if you want to be a part of the action at all, just ! Discord and chat, join up, talk to the people in chat. We still got 4 GT4 slots open, last I checked.
We got Jaden now in P2 in the LMP3s with a 42.552.
Ooh, getting closer to Vincent LaRue's time. Still 3/10 behind, though.
Right.
Chris Turner as well, wrapping up a lap. One of the few remaining on the board. We do have... I think we are otherwise about to be done with qualifying. Chris Turner seeming to improve. He does, up to 6th with a 143.16. That top batch of cars, really from Vincent to, I almost say Jack Wilkins, all within a second of each other. In terms of those lap times.
So tight.
So, yeah, it's going to be, I think, a pretty competitive field.
Yep. And that is the LMP3 field, ladies and gentlemen. 9 out of 10 dentists approve. It's a good class. You should definitely check it out. Definitely, you should turn some more laps in it. Logan, give it a shot. Maybe not at Bathurst. Maybe a track with a little less bumps and undulation.
Yeah, Bathurst. I just did the Super Formula lights are running at Bathurst this week, and I turned about half a dozen laps there, and it was so much fun. That track is the best. I'm kind of sad we missed doing multi-class there, but it'd be kind of weird with 3 classes on that track.
I think nothing could go wrong. They do it all the time in the real world, so I don't understand why we would have a problem with it. All right.
I mean, I think it's the fear of death that makes it possible, but
that's very true. All right. We have our starting grid for the first track limits racing race of the season. Let's take a quick grid walk. Starting on pole position. See if I can do this button correctly. I probably can't, but we can dream. Pole position, Vincent LaRue. Alongside him, Jaden Ledbetter. Michael Lively, Mike Bowen are on the second row of the grid. In 5th, Scott Fleming alongside Chris Turner in 6th. Jack Wilkins, one of the fantastic drivers from last season, currently sitting in 7th. I'm wondering if a setup difference is a result of a lot of these times. I remember talking, I think, with Jaden about this earlier this weekend. I'm curious how that plays into things. Alongside him, Hardest American Man in Sim Racing, Mark Coyne. Oh, too far. Too many drives. Too many places. Way too many. All right. In 9th is going to be Brandon Vincent Squibb. Yes, thank you. Deshaun Lockwood in 10th. 11th is going to be Mark Robeson. And then we got kind of a little bit of a mix-up here with Ethan Hamlet in front of Paul Miles for the mix between GT3 and LMP3. And I would say, Logan, do you want to run through GT3 for us and where those standings are?
GT3, we have Ethan Hamlet in 1st, Gab Chavez in 2nd, Kyle Porter in 3rd, Anthony Newman in 4th, Tommy Kogan in 5th, Retro Coffin is in 6th, Sean Sullivan is in 7th, Kerry Nolan is in 8th, Bruno Clemente is in 9th, and Brandon Potts is pulling up the rear in 10th.
Awesome. Phil, do you want to run through GT4 Pro real quick for me?
Let's do it. Tyler Tourville, one of the newcomers. He's going to start 23rd alongside Nathaniel Redmond. We got Henry Garcia in the 236 alongside Lee Wu, a newcomer. Tanner Schiffner, he's back. He's alongside Zach Fisher. Mike Gallant is going to line up alongside John Newman with Matt Pyle and Austin Green behind him. William Lewis is going to line up alongside Christopher Blue. Rodrigo Souza is going to line up alongside Ryan Buchanan. We got David Colson, a newcomer, lined up alongside another newcomer with Todd Tourville. Eduardo Zamora is going to line up alongside David Schneider and Dave Lively, Jameson Leckenby, and Oscar Brown round out the field.
Awesome. And just like that, we're getting ready to go racing here in a moment. Vincent LaRue slowing down, letting the grid come to him. Jayden not really wanting to pull back, but is choosing to do so. And then he is off.
Go.
Fantastic start for Vincent LaRue. Michael Lively also capitalizing on that, going alongside Jayden Ledbetter. The rest of the LMP3 field all hanging out behind them. Hard under the brakes. Everybody seems to be following through nicely. As we jump back to start GT3s. Ethan Hamlet already off on his own.
Yeah, Ethan known for getting a good jump here at the start as the GT3s are going to line up into the first corner. Cold tires are going to be a factor. I'm wondering what the GT4 field's going to do about it.
Speaking of that
Tyler
GT4
bringing
field,
him up to the green right now.
Yeah, he is holding them up, and then he
There
takes
he
off.
goes.
Fantastic start for him as well.
Backfield, you love to see it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Vince LaRue still at the top of the order as well. As we get underway here, take a quick look back at LMP.
Oh, we got a spin. Zach Fisher in International 1, it looks like.
Oh, awesome. We'll take Zach Fisher in International.
Oh, yeah, he got... Ooh. That's heartbreaking. First lap is always rough.
Good news here
Especially
is...
in that,
Go ahead, sir.
especially in that close of racing.
Mm-hmm.
Hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but the thing is that he needs to knuckle down and try and regain as many spots as possible because we've got 20 minutes of heat racing action to set the grid as we get set up for the 70-minute feature race that will be starting shortly.
That it will. The rest of the LMP3 field setting times here. Deshaun Lockwood has crashed, but is that a real thing or is that iRacing lying to me? Well, I can't see it anyway because it's not something that got actually registered on my machine. Sweet. Well, ain't that lovely?
Oh, no.
Well, I think it is a sign that it is time to upgrade the machine.
Oh.
Vincent LaRue and Michael Lively are nose to tail.
They are. Let's take a look on board with Michael Lively as we go into the bus stop here. Well. I think he's just kind of linking up and pushing him. Crash for Jack Wilkins, I believe, as well.
Mark Coyne, Jack Wilkins both jumped to the pits. They might be either getting the fast repair or hopefully getting back out on track. Man, Vincent getting defensive going into the first corner. Another
Michael
fight to take a peek at. Actually, Juan Rodriguez looks like he might have just found his way around Tommy Kogan.
Okay. We'll take a look at that.
Whoa,
just
what is
a moment.
this?
We're hopping over with Jack Wilkins, the crash that we saw earlier. It's in slow motion. So,
What happened here?
I'm also curious. Let's play it at full speed. Ooh, loses it over the curbing, explodes, and takes out Mark Coyne with him.
That is so unfortunate.
Oh, no.
Just shot over that bump and was an
Yeah.
absolute missile after that.
Let's
Oh, that is
slow-mo
really. Oh, man. And another engine cover gone.
Yep.
Oh.
Man, and
Spoiler
Mark Coyne's
alert.
car just gets flung. And then the engine cover comes back to Earth only to leave
Yeah.
again.
Mark Coyne thrown across the infield.
Oh, man, that is so unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. Another incident you wanted to take a look at.
Oh, for me, I was going to talk about how it looked like Retro found his way around Tommy Kogan. Actually, Tommy Kogan looks like he might have lost a spot to Anthony Newman as well. Retro in the Porsche. Currently, let's see here.
Kind of
Sitting in 4th. Yeah, kind of on his own. It does look like Ethan Hamlin has left the building.
I mean, were we expecting anything less?
We have
I don't know, man.
LMP3s catching up to the tail end of the GT4s already.
Also, I see smoke throughout here. I'm curious if an incident happened. Sean Lockwood labeled as crashed. I need to have this not be in slow-mo. I love it in concept. I was ready from the start. I think we had a similar issue for Sean Lockwood. Oh, gets really loose there.
No.
Keeps it
claims another.
out of the wall.
That was close.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then the brilliant play of just backing up, just getting off track when it was clear. Cool heads.
They do prevail.
Will prevail. Vincent LaRue currently running about a 4/10 gap on Michael Lively. Ethan Hamlet currently 1.8 ahead of Kyle Potter. Henry Garcia in the 236 currently just barely ahead of Redmond.
Yeah, just barely ahead of Redmond. A fantastic up 3 spots for Henry Garcia. Someone I am hoping has a better, or at least a more kind season based on last year, last season's racing. Henry Garcia, I felt like very much at the brunt end of unfortunate incidents throughout the season.
Yeah.
So this looks like to be setting out for a fantastic start.
Looks like he might be getting a tow from one of the Tourvilles.
Yes, Tyler Tourville started on pole for GT4 Pro. And there's a look on the inside for Henry Garcia. Nathan Redmond also kind of hanging out in the wings. A better exit. They're running almost too wide, but Henry Garcia has to back out to not run off out of road. And
yeah, GT4s are making it nice and spicy.
That they are, keeping it tight and put together.
Careful.
Michael Lively just sets the fastest lap with a 42.4.
Very nice. Traffic, I think,
Oh
impeding
boy, here we go.
Vincent LaRue. But they both keep it together. And Michael Bowen in the back of that shot. I saw smoke, but I think it was a lockup for a LMP3. Perhaps Jaden Ledbetter might be having issues with that infield portion. And then Michael Lively getting close. Keeping it out of the rear end.
We got contact between Jaden Ledbetter and John Newman going through International 2.
Oh, boy. All right.
It's unfortunate.
John Newman, is this a crash for John Newman? He goes into braking.
Going in.
Oh,
just a tap.
Just
shoveled
a small
up
tap.
by the LMP3.
And John Newman recovering the car very quickly after the spin, getting back to the access road and back out on track. Going to lose some spots, but hats off to him for being like smooth operator after getting the contact.
Yeah, I'd say definitely cool head there, knowing when to move, when to leave it be.
And Black Flag Ledbetter strikes again.
Black Flag Ledbetter has begun his season of Black Flags.
Yeah.
Sean Lockwood kind of just hanging out behind Retro Coffin. Going into the bus stop. I think, see if he holds it together this time. Seems to do at least a little bit better.
That bump on the inside of either curbing, really brutal for these LMP3s. They basically turn into a skateboard.
Yes.
But yeah, Chris Turner closing in on 5th. Actually, it looks like he's losing a little bit of distance. And then the other close race that's going on right now between Kyle Potter and Gabe Chavez.
Gab Chavez, too wide. Gab Chavez looks to take away the spot from Kyle Potter.
That Merc power.
Mercedes power. Well,
we haven't talked about anybody from the 4AM field right now, but
we have not yet. We should.
Taking a peek right now.
Let's say if you want to take a look, see what's happening there.
I was gonna say it's William Lewis is the one that's showing up on my indicators as being relatively close to Christopher Blue, 4/10. Looks like.
They're just getting
Yep.
passed by the
Jaden
P2 and
Ledbetter.
P3 of the LMP3s right now.
Don't
Yep.
kill someone else, please.
William Lewis having a great entrance into the bus stop.
Ooh,
Really closing the gap there down to Christopher Blue. Hop on board on that roll bar and see he is just up the road and looking to close that distance. As all of these drivers
Looks
getting
like
past
we
Scott
are-
Fleming and Chris Turner, the two cars you said that.
Yep. That's
careful,
battle.
careful.
Yep, they're all careful.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Chris
Ooh,
Blue.
here we go, here we go, here we go.
Oh,
Oh, and
and
then
a big
Oh.
unfortunate incident.
yep. Oh, and then
Oh.
Lewis
Oh,
moves just
oh.
a little too
More.
soon.
Oh, there it is.
And the field gets
Oh, and
spread
then
out.
that rear end just keeps coming off. Just keeps coming off.
Bruno Clement.
Eduardo Zamora
excuse me.
got collected, unfortunately.
Let's see, as from Jameson Leckenby, yeah, excuse me,
Oof.
gets run into trying to avoid Eduardo Zamora, which then Eduardo Zamora unfortunately has that incident as well.
So unfortunate.
Goes to get it going, and then
Yep.
spins around, and just goes, maybe this, I'll keep driving it. And GT3 traffic decides to hop in right
That's
as
race
well.
leader Ethan Hamlet in top 3. So drama in the heat race. Again, these folks going to be looking to see what the field does inside the feature race. Maybe we'll get some cooler heads when 70 minutes are on the clock. For some reason, it's been kind of a tradition. I think whenever we have races that are particularly dramatic, it seems to always happen inside the heats.
Mm-hmm.
The Heats
think they're-
always have the most going on.
Yeah, I think it's that sense of urgency. Like, gotta get those places. Gotta have the best setup for the race. But might not be bad to just play it consistent, play it cool, save it for the strategy in the 70-minute with the fuel limited tanks. Let the pit strategy do the work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like
between Gab and Kyle Potter, where it's kind of cemented itself. A trio of cars. Like my computer will want to work on it. Yes, it will. Cool. Anthony Newman, Bruno Clemente, Tommy Kogan, and Kerry Nolan, all in this kind of 4-way or 2x2 as Bruno Clemente goes alongside. Anthony Newman has the run on the outside to try to take away, I believe it is going to be P5. Yes, P5 and P5 through P9. Oh, Anthony Newman sticking it on the inside though. And Tommy Kogan looking to take away the pace. All loose there for Bruno Clemente. Keeps it out of the wall and out of the other cars.
we have a lead change in the LMP3s. Michael Lively has taken over the lead.
Fantastic work.
I was actually
Bowen
looking,
is
through the
P2.
data trying to see if I can figure out where that change occurred, but it looks like it might have been either not registered or a while before it happened.
I would say it could be either. I know that with this number of cars and the way my machine works right now, it doesn't like loading all of them at once. So something to work on between this race and next race.
All that said, I feel like the stream is moving smooth. I feel like the picture looks good. The sound is great. And then the action on track is getting us a good taste of what's to come when we get to that feature race. As man, that is... Whew, okay.
There's a 4-car battle here in LMP3s for the top spot.
You want to walk us through where everybody's at right now, Logan?
We got Michael Lively in first. That's car 888. We got Michael Bowen in second. Vincent LaRue in third. And Jaden Ledbetter is bringing up the rear of that pack in fourth.
Man, and we are looking at less than a second between the top 4 right now. It is very close racing up here at the front of LMP3s. I'm keeping an eye on that GT3 and GT4 battles that are floating around right now because we still have a couple that are interesting. So yeah, but this battle up here at the front, man, this is where the race is at.
That is where the racing's happening. I'm trying to see. Curious. Oh boy. Is that Anthony Newman
this is
labeled as crashed?
amazing shot as they get ready to go into the bus stop here.
Oh yeah.
We got David
All the
Schneider with the
cars.
black flag.
Ooh. Coulson, Anthony Newman labeled as crashed. See if it's a hiccup on my end or if it's an actual thing. They're coming up on GT3 or GT4 traffic for these two drivers. Oh, that's late on the brakes. That's late on the brakes, and
Yep.
runs into
Unfortunate. Loses some
GT4
spots.
there. Yep, loses some spots, keeping that on the wall, and then this battle for the lead continues on. Michael Bowen taking over the lead from Michael Lively. We were just kind of waiting in the wings alongside Jaden Ledbetter, who's a little ways behind. I feel like Jaden's got pace. His setup definitely is meant for the oval portion and looks to be a little bit slower on the infield. Look how much that slides for him as he's coming out of that second hairpin.
Zero wing.
It is. It's tricky right now up at the front in the LMP3s. Just checking back, Kyle Potter right now, closest one on track in the GT3s with 2/10 back from Gab Chavez, currently in third, Kyle Potter. In the GT4 Pros, we do have Todd Corville currently in the lead with Nate Redmond, 4/10 back. Tanner Schiffner trying to chase down Lee Wu, currently 7/10 back in the 51. And then in GT4 AM, Christopher Blue out in front of Oscar Brown, the tune of almost 16 seconds.
Might have a lead change here in LMP3s.
Okay.
It is.
Looks like Lively and Bowen are just going at it, and here comes LaRue on the outside.
Oh.
Wow, this is
unfolds. Unfortunate impact there as Michael Lively tries to go around Mike Bowen. Vince LaRue being punted off into the wall. Vince LaRue just setting the fastest lap of the session, but right moments before that as well.
So I'm wondering if Lively's
right out of existence.
Lively's got maybe some side pod damage after that with that contact with Vincent LaRue. Is Jaden Ledbetter going to be able to close in or not?
I don't know. Let's see. It doesn't look like he has a whole lot of damage from our point of view, but maybe the sim's telling him that it's not showing us.
Indeed. That was
What else
the dramatic ending here for the LMP3s. And actually, so Redmond currently 4/10 back from Tourville, but Garcia is not out of it. He's 8/10 back and closing.
Yep, and they are all three of those cars, 3 seconds clear. And dealing with multi-class traffic of Gab Chavez, Kyle Potter, Deshaun Lockwood as well, all trying to mix with these GT4 pros that are trying to have a race here. And I'm sure all of them are going, hey, we're racing here.
Careful, boys.
Everyone coming out of it so far so good.
Indeed, it is really picking up here. Henry Garcia just going to hang there and going to try and catch Nate Redmond as they're going through the oval section, getting ready to head down towards the bus stop.
I believe we'll be seeing white flag for these drivers pretty
soon.
soon.
Yeah, it's going to be about that. It's going to be about that time. If it's not for LMP3s, I'd be stunned because there's less than a minute.
2 by 2 going into the hairpin. Neither wanting to give up the lead. Jaden Ledbetter hanging out in the back, just waiting for this all to go wrong. Has already seen Michael Lively run into another car once He's just waiting for him to do it again.
Oh,
that's a lockup on the front left, front right. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Keeps
you can
it.
see the tire marks. It's gonna slot back in, try and keep with him.
Keeping with him. As these two gun it out for the top spot on the Heat podium. Other battles, I'm sure, happening around. Gab Chavez, Kyle Potter, I believe, still in a very tight battle for second in GT3 and third, respectively. Set pretty clear to Anthony Newman after that incident with Anthony Newman and GT4 traffic. As they both go blisteringly through the bus stop, going high around John Newman and the GT4 AM.
Hold his line, let these LMP3s go by, and there's still one more car to clear before they get to the finish line.
Hit that grid button. White flag is going to be out this time by, I believe, for these drivers.
Oh, they're going
the checker flag. Excuse me.
It's going to be checkers.
Oh,
Oof.
Mike Bowen taking it by 7/100ths of a second to Jaden.
Damn, it was close.
To Michael Lively. And Jaden Ledbetter only 1/10 behind. Scott Fleming in fourth. Vincent LaRue in fifth.
Let's check in on Ethan Hamlet. Where's Ethan Hamlet at on track?
Let's see. Ethan Hamlet. There we go.
Ethan may already be, nope, he's coming around right now as he's getting ready to finish his lap to take the win home. Almost 6 seconds up on Gab Chavez as he's getting set up to come in. And Ethan Hamlet going to start where he finished, which is first.
Yes.
Very interesting. I mean, 6 seconds. I mean, Gab still in touch. I mean, Ethan has a moment, and there's still something to play for. Nate Redmond,
Well, this is
top of pro.
Tyler Tulleyville is top of pro.
Okay.
Nate Redmond in
yeah.
second. Henry Garcia in third. Are going to be your top three for GT4 Pro. GT4 AM, Christopher Blue. Right now, just about to come across the start-finish line after getting through out of NASCAR 3 and 4, leading home Oscar Brown and Rodrigo Souza for P2 and P3 of the GT4 AM podium spots.
Yeah, good stuff. So with that, I believe drivers are going to finish out. The order will fill out with the results, and then we will switch over and get ready for the 70-minute feature race. Finn, between you and Logan, like, what do you guys think so far?
This has been really, really intense. It's my first time doing this, so it's really hard for me to follow everything that's going on, but this has been a race.
Can I offer a word of advice?
What's up?
It doesn't get better. It gets harder to follow. So.
Like, you've also come in when we have a third class to worry about, so
right.
It doesn't make it any easier. So I think you're doing fantastic for a first time around. Let's take a quick look at the results for heat number 1, if it showcases them correctly. Yeah, there we go. Give us a rundown of the top spots for heat number 1. LMP3 kicking it off. Mike Bowen leading Michael Lively to the checkered by 606 thousandths of a second, separating between the two of them. Jaden Ledbetter 2/10 behind those two individuals, and then a 5-second gap between Jaden Ledbetter, Scott Fleming in fourth, Vincent LaRue recovering very nicely after his unceremonious ejection from the podium in fifth. Brandon Vincent Squibb is going to be in sixth. Mark Robison in seventh. Paul Miles, Deshaun Lockwood, Jack Wilkins. I think we have a couple more. We do. Mark Coyne, Chris Turner, both wrap out the LMP3 podium. Philip, Mr. Whelpkicks, what does GT3's results look like?
I mean, Ethan Hamlet on top. That shocks nobody.
Nope.
Gab Chavez, though, 6 seconds. So, again, I'm kind of curious, like, with the way traffic management is going to be in the 70-minute feature, like, how much is it possible for traffic mixing to cause a mistake? Kyle Potter in third, though. Good result for Kyle. And then Retro Coffin showing up in 4th place after a strong start in the 398. Bruno Clemente in 5th. Tommy Kogan in 6th. Had a little bit of shenanigans on track to navigate, but still a 6th place finish is not bad. Sean Sullivan, 7th place. Kerry Nolan in 8th. Anthony Newman finishes 9th after the incident with GT4. And Brandon Potts looks like he rounds out our GT3 field.
I believe so. Logan, how is GT4 Pro looking?
Oh, GT4 Pro is Tyler Tourville in 1st, Nathaniel Redmond in 2nd, Henry Garcia in 3rd, Lee Wu in 4th, Tanner Schiffer in 5th, Matt Pyle in 6th, Ryan Buchanan in 7th, Jameson Leckaby in 8th, Zachary Fisher in 9th, and David Colson in 10th.
Let's see. We got any more? We got a few more.
Oh, Mike Gallant in 11th, Austin Green in 12th, and Edward Zamora in 13th.
Alrighty. And your GT4 AM finishers. Christopher Blue, Oscar Brown, Rodrigo Souza, Todd Tourville, Dave Lively, John Newman, William Lewis, and David Schneider are your 8 drivers that took to the heat and make it to the checkered flag.
That's going to set our grid up for the feature race that's going to happen here in a few minutes with a 70-minute feature on offer. And those limited fuel tanks, Finn, this is where the strategy comes in.
Mm-hmm. That is where the strategy comes in. I think it's going to be where we'll see a lot more of the, I would say almost like the, that's what I'm looking for. Sorry. I thought I had something and then it immediately fell out of my brain.
You got a lot to track, man. You're doing all right. You're doing good.
I think it's going to be where we'll see the biggest, I think strategy, like you said, strategy much more important than just pace, though I think pace, obviously, it plays a factor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be fast and have good strategy. You'll run away with it.
Yep.
Good strategy on top of fast pace. Ethan Hamlet, I assume, kind of guess based on every other race that we've seen him in, we'll see him once again taking to the checkered flag first for GT3. But I'm curious to see if, Vincent LaRue notoriously has set a fun precedent of doing ridiculous one-stops. And I'm curious to see how if he will be able to pull one off, which I don't know that he will, especially given the nature of the track and how much time you're on throttle here. There's not a whole lot of good braking zones to save fuel as these guys get set to get underway and go through the bus stop.
Mark Cohn in the back of the GT3s trying to make his way up to come into the P3s.
Yep, both him as well as Jack Wilkins kind of, I think, working their way around the...
There we go.
GT3s to hit the right person. To get back to the end of the LMP3 grid. Chris Turner as well, I think, will be trying to make his way around very slowly.
He might also just start with the GT4s.
that he might.
That would be a move. That would be
definitely be
a little
unique
chaotic.
So
it's like when you're starting from the grid as an LMP3 and your class goes by, but you come out into all the GT4s, it's going to give the same kind of drama that you get in actual open lobbies.
Very similar.
Oh, here we go.
Mike Bowen leading away early. Michael Lively immediately coming down to pair off and keep Jaden Ledbetter in third behind him. Rest of the field all seeming to dive in to the start. Turn 1. Everybody seems to make it through. Okay. For LMP3s, Chris Turner running to catch up with the rest of the pack. Ethan Hamlet leading away. GT3s are right behind him. Everybody seems to be going in well. Retro Coffin on the inside of Bruno Clemente. There's a tap.
Oh!
And he gets pushed back the right direction. Anthony Newman taking advantage of that and going on the inside, making contact with Bruno Clemente. Both getting ejected into the infield. Cobb Chavez, Kyle Potter, Retro Coffin. Now a big gap between Kyle Potter and Retro Coffin.
GT4s are coming across in turn 1 right now.
That they are. We'll see if this gets spicy as well. So far, first few cars seem to be doing okay. Tanner Schiffner, Christopher Blue. Sorry, Christopher Blue and Ryan Buchanan. You have to remember that he is now in a BMW.
Someone's off. Someone's off. The pace car is off.
F1 pace car. Okay, so one of the Tourvilles, but looks like he's back on track and everything seems to be put back together. Oh, excuse me, Dave Lively.
Yeah, Dave Lively is our F1 car. He's doing okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see where else we got. Lee Woo seems to be kind of on an island here between the GT4s. And
I believe one of the GT4s might have started from the pits, and I think that might have been Lee Woo. Lee Woo and Mike Gallant might have been two that decided to start from the pits. Whoa, that is deep braking in the GT4s.
Yeah. Anthony Newman is off.
Anthony Newman off again. Let's take a look here. Makes it back on.
I wonder if he's got damage from the contact.
It definitely looks like it. So, Mike.
Go ahead, sir.
I'll say Michael Lively and Mike Bowen all
bus
still running.
Coming through the bus stop. It looks like he gets a little loose coming in, and loses on the way out.
Gotcha. Take a look at that in a moment if you can.
The tires are going to be the thing to deal with here at the race start.
That they are.
And that's going to change next time we're here.
Mm-hmm.
The tire model for the GT3s is going to change to what the GTPs have, the LMP2s. So that's going to add a whole new look.
That it will. We'll definitely add some unique things. There's going to be, what I will say there.
Ooh.
That's the base car. Okay. Just kind of taking a tour through the field, trying to figure out where everyone is at. And take a quick look. Ethan Hamlet not as far away from Gab Chavez as he was earlier on in the heat race. I wonder if he's doing a little more fuel saving. Keep himself well in good with the rest of the GT3 field. Timing's coming in for the rest of LMP3. Vincent LaRue saying the fastest lap time.
Oh shit, we got
0.03. Got a car,
I think, back going on to Daytona Oval.
Onto NASCAR 2. I think that was, if I had to make a quick guess, would be our race car driver, Jameson Leckenby. Yeah, that's him. I wonder what happened there. Seems like he got labeled as... Let's take a look at this crash here real quick. He's coming out onto the start-finish stretch. And
oh, wow. And then it just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Very quick thinking to just whip that off the track. Good on him. And then gets the STR Aston Martin back on the straight and narrow and get back up to speed as he rejoins the oval.
Fantastic. A bit of a rough start for him. Ryan Buchanan, Tanner Schiffner, and Christopher Blue and Matt Pyle in the back of that shot. Chris Blue running real wide, kind of taking that iRacing line. Kind of sliding back in behind the two of them. Matt Pyle having a great exit out of turn one. Riding right behind Brian Buchanan, both of those Pyle driving cars. And Buchanan Matt Pyle launching it up the inside. So these two duke it out. Take a quick look. Scott Fleming working his way, I think, past Mark Coyne. Mark Coyne not putting up much of a fight there.
I got to wonder how many of the passes we're seeing right now, especially in the LMP3 field, are people just trying to attempt that fuel save to see if they can either.
Scott Fleming really struggling with that turn one. We saw it in quali. Now we see it again in the race. I wonder if it seems like he just takes that line a little too shallow, and then the car just doesn't want to respond with him and doesn't play at all nice. Keep him going the right direction. John Newman now joins those labeled as crashed. Let's see. He's moving again. See if my system registered it.
Or if it's a very similar thing, maybe a slow spin when going onto the oval section.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, it definitely looks like
yep,
it.
Yep.
You
called that.
Lost it going in. That's a typical place to spin, though. I mean,
Yep.
no matter what car you're in. Looks like we got.
Something I'd like to call out, if it's okay. That GT4 Pro battle right now between Tyler Torville. Got it wrong. Said it was Todd earlier. Apologies, Tyler. Tyler and Nate Redmond and Henry Garcia. It's a repeat of the heat race. Imagine that.
Imagine that, indeed. It is a repeat, and I think it's one we'd love to see what Henry Garcia is working with in this Mercedes GT4, as he is in the third car of this pack, trying to make his way around it. Has been further up this order of this trio, so it definitely feels like has the pace. Currently running only 200ths faster than Tyler Torville in the front of this trio, but Nate Redmond in the middle is running 300ths, faster than both of them. Get out of the infield. Now, I guess a question for you, Logan. When you drove the Mercedes GT4 and running for these kind of, long straight sections in these races that have that kind of, you prioritize the less swing, lower downforce options. How loose does this car feel at the start of the stint versus the end of a stint with these fuel limitations?
In this car, not that bad.
Okay.
It always seemed planted to me. That's why I originally had picked that. The Porsche, that's the one with the problems, because you have the front end losing the gas, and you just want to go all over the place because that front end is losing its traction. But the Merc's always been planted for me.
Fantastic. And I think it shows with how consistently these three are running. What you mentioned there with it just feeling very planted.
Right. It's a good car here. It's a fun car here.
Oh, heck yeah.
Ooh.
Looking back at the front of the order. Multi-class traffic coming into play for the leaders of LMP3. Vincent LaRue right behind Mike Lively. Take another look from the front of the car. We'll hop on a different onboard, just kind of right in front of the driver for this one.
Careful, boys.
They're working their way through. Vince LaRue looking a little more confident coming into this area. On the outside.
He's boxed in with that GT4.
Yeah.
And,
but so is Michael Lively. He's looking
Lively's getting boxed in as well.
Ooh.
A spin
there's a
for Michael Lively.
Yeah, I think there was contact with the Porsche and then contact with Vincent.
Let's take a look at that.
Just the Constantina effect going into effect there. Not much you can really do in that scenario.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Yeah, there's a touch and a turn and then another touch. And who's that in the M4 being able to capitalize potentially?
The M4 behind them? Capitalizing on that?
That is Bowen.
Bowen trying to keep up with Li Wu, but Li Wu does seem to get away. Most everybody seems to get away relatively unscathed. I wonder if we're going to be seeing fast repairs on that first stop, maybe.
I would probably guess so, or at least hazard a guess, because it looks like that front end for at least Vincent LaRue looks a little crunched, just a smidgen. You can see it kind of on that drive there. Jaden Ledbetter trying to take 4th place from Vincent Squibb. Vincent Squibb not having it in that LMP3. Both working to look to get around Eduardo Zamora. Yeah, Eduardo Zamora. I have to relearn everybody's liveries. I'm so used to last season's. Is that who I think it is? Because the one I would.
Yeah, it's Eduardo.
Yeah. Eduardo
I
Zamora.
think he's recovering after having a really rough start to the season in the heat race.
Yes. Yep.
But currently, let's see, he is sitting in the GT4 field. Because the other thing that the audience should know about the way the GT4 field gets arranged is while there are 2 classes technically racing for their own championships, they do get mixed with all the other GT4 cars when we go to the race start. But Eduardo Zamora already up 12 spots.
Fantastic. On a great recovery drive there for Eduardo Zamora.
Taking a peek also at looks like taking a peek looks like Vincent Brandon Vincent Squibb that you were talking about earlier, 2/10. Another LMP3 close, Scott Fleming on. Looks like he's close to Jack Wilkins for 6th place.
Yeah, those two are. That's how.
Actually,
and Chris Turner.
Yeah,
both are 2 wide, but there's a 3 wide ball, almost 4 wide.
Oh,
set of cars behind them.
Start finish line.
Paul Miles having the better run out of NASCAR 4 into the braking zone early.
What a run!
And Mark Robeson behind these two, Sean Lockwood, Paul Miles, as they are navigating traffic. Mark Coyne as well, looking to join this melee of cars. A lockup earlier from, I think it was either Chris Turner or Scott Fleming, but they keep it out of the wall. A whole set of LMP3s looking to gain some ground. Gab Chavez, 3/10 behind. Oh no! Oh, Dave Lively into the side of Jamison Leckenby. They both keep it moving though. Check on them real quick.
Ooh.
But Gab Chavez on a pretty good tear to keep up with Ethan Hamlet this time around.
Yeah, he did at one point have the fastest lap in GT3. So Gab has definitely stepped up the game coming into season 2 here, 2025. One of the LMP3 race winners last season, of which we almost had a what was that, 6 for 6 in terms of.
Oh, we got someone in the wall. We have someone in the wall. Coming out of the bus stop.
Oh, and he locks it up and just into the wall. Just a little bit of a touch, and just like that, LMP3 turns into skateboard.
That's quick repair.
Yeah. Could be looking at an early stop and then maybe do the quick repair and try and just, push it out. I believe when Gian Cardoso in chat was telling us, I think it's around 25 minutes for a fuel tank.
Yep.
For the LMP3s, so it'd be interesting. So we got 70 minutes.
The battle that we were looking at for 9th now down to 2 cars as Paul Miles finds himself in the wall. And 2 of those trying to work their way around all of these drivers. GT3's pretty spread out. Cal Potter 5 seconds to the good of Tommy Kogan, and 5 seconds behind Gab Chavez. Brendan Potts, Kerry Nolan, also kind of seconds apart.
Oh, what was that? Was that? Oh man,
Retro Coffin
trying to find his way around the GT4 traffic.
Yeah, trying to find his way around the Porsche Cayman of John Newman.
Yep.
Puts him right back into the crosshairs of Brandon Potts.
BP's having a hell of a drive.
That he is. He's up in one position in class.
Oh, I thought he was up more. I thought he was at the tail end at the beginning of the.
Yep, the fastest GT3 in Bronze League, moving up a spot, and yep. So,
Chris Turner, Scott Fleming still duking it out for 7th in LMP3. LMP3 category also spreading out. Vincent LaRue finding his way around. Michael Lively, super curious. Sean Sullivan, in and out of pit lane. I think one of our first drivers to come in for a pit stop.
might have been for fast repair, if I had to guess, this early.
Still a pretty tight battle between the GT4 leaders.
Take back,
The one thing with the way the strategy and the pit stops are going to work out is the early stop, the undercut. Not necessarily really going to be a good factor at the start of the race, I think, with how traffic's going to play out. It's probably going to be more of a thing towards the end than it will be at the start. So if Sean Sullivan's coming in for an undercut, I don't really feel like you're going to gain any kind of like track advantage with how much traffic there is here at Daytona.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Doesn't say that he has a pit time, so it may not be maybe for either a drive-through for a failed to serve slowdown penalty. But that would be
Could
a
have
stop
been.
and go, I think so. No, drive-through. But battle for the lead of GT4 Pro and GT4 overall. Still running away. Nathaniel Redmond, and Tyler Torville on that battle here. Eduardo Zamora, Ryan Buchanan, Lee Wu, these three in a heated battle as well further down the GT4 Pro grid. GT3 cars, Tommy Kogan trying to get around these individuals, as well as Retro Coffin, all trying to see their way through these NASCAR 3 and 4. Fresh Paul Miles has crashed. Is this the second one for Paul Miles? Currently our last.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not, but it looks like it's going to be one. Late on the brakes. Oh, almost gripped it.
Now that's just a spin.
Yeah, that is just a spin. It says it crashed. He gets it.
Tires aren't going to be happy, but
No.
can definitely put nose to the grindstone. Maybe get some time back.
These set of cars also working their way through to try to find ways to get back up the order. Taking a quick look at Jaden Ledbetter, the very spread out LMP3 field, with the exception of Scott Fleming, Chris Turner. Still duking it out. Back.
I think these two are having a really good battle. And in
Chris Turner and
GT4,
Scott Fleming.
yeah, those two are having a really good battle. The GT4 Pro field right now is what's kind of got my attention the most. I mean, we've got fights up and down the order, although right now, a little bit of a bump draft maybe happening.
Right
a little bit.
Button to go away. Jaden Ledbetter setting the fastest lap of the session, 142.66.
Whoa.
6.5, I guess, depending on
Again,
the last.
really deep line for Scott Fleming, and Chris Turner's just right back on his tail.
I don't know that Scott has the best. I think that's the line he struggles with the most is turn ones. Where to plant the car to keep it from sliding on him, I think is where he's struggling there. You can kind of see it every time he hops into that corner. Take a quick dive back over to GT4 Pro. This battle between Tyler Tourville and Nathaniel Redmond is very warm as 2/10 separate all these drivers.
We got 20 minutes down. I think we got another 5 to 7 minutes before we're going to start seeing LMP3s maybe make a move to the pits. With Bowen in the lead currently by 1.8 seconds over Vincent LaRue. Michael Lively only 1.7 seconds back. So again, we got like a little over 3 seconds between the top three, almost 4 seconds. So it's going to be interesting, especially when we get to those pit stop battles, because those seconds are going to make a difference depending on how people hit their pits. So, Finn, as somebody who does a lot of endurance racing, especially with like Vincent and stuff like that, how talk to me about the consistency of
Smoke
of nailing your pits.
So, the consistency of nailing pits, making sure you hit the pit box there, I think it's super. It's one of the unsung pieces is knowing how to handle a pit stop in general. You know, from making the marks on your pit stop to knowing what your pit stop is supposed to be, whether it's, you know, full tires, full fuel, half tires, full fuel, half fuel, you know, whatever it is, you knowing why you're there and therefore what your expectations there is, I think, kind of an unsung point that people will kind of overlook a lot. And I think it really refines, you know, that idea and that knowledge of both knowing and understanding your strategy. Jaden looking on the inside of Michael Lively.
Ooh.
Just having that raw pace down the backstretch. That setup designed for the oval piece showing. Whoa. John Newman, I think, having an issue there.
Was that the smoke I saw earlier?
I think
He seems
so.
hugging the apron.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh, he's got no wing.
Oh, we got Yellow Maca just spun.
Lee Woo, yes. We'll look at that in just a second as well. And Bruno Clemente is listed as crash. Oh, hard into the barrier.
Hard shot, too. That's going to probably impact his rear right, unfortunately.
Bruno Clemente trying to get through GT4 traffic. And this might be the Lee Woo impact you saw as well. Hard on the brakes, just has nowhere to go. Gets pincered between two GT4s.
Yeah, it's tough. It's going to be one of those things where there's a sense of urgency to clear this traffic, but at the same time, too, the urgency can sometimes create not only a problem for yourself, but other drivers around you. Not placing fault on anyone in particular in that incident, because it's kind of hard to tell with 3 cars going into the first horseshoe. It's tough.
Yeah. I think it also. I think there's a similar to the pit strategy conversation we just were having. I think there's one also as well for the endurance. You know, clearing traffic or navigating traffic in general. I feel like for people, unless you're in the mindset of patience, like you have the mindset of patience and just going, I'll get through when I get through it. If you have this idea of I need to push to make up time or make stuff like that, I think there's also the tendency or desire to make worse or less thought out calls. Even if it's a brief, I can go here, I can't go there because of these reasons, because these cars are gonna be in my way, or that is a vortex of danger. Even though I'm a faster class and I theoretically can clear it as the lights turn on. The session now finally reaches sunset. You see all the lights on the Ford Mustang of Kerry Nolan trying to get through this battle for the lead of GT4 Pro. But I think it's the conversation there that you were saying, that it definitely makes multi-class unique.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this might stun some of the viewers at home, but one of the ways to win an endurance race is spend the highest concentration of time on the track and the least concentration of time in the pits. But the thing is that it's just, to your point, man. It's an unsung art because people leave so much time on the table with sketchy pit stops. In fact, we had some races that were pretty much decided last season on the quality of pit stops. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on it once we start getting that first set of LMP3 pit stops in. Ethan Hamlet coming in just now.
I think
was that for a crash or was that just scheduled?
That's I think a scheduled pit stop for him. We are at the 25-minute mark, which I think also echoes the LMP3 times in terms of how much time they have for fuel. Both have 50%. I think both have about an hour-long run time under normal circumstances. So 25 minutes sounds about right for GT3s. And Mike Bowen also diving into pits right on cue. Jaden Ledbetter staying
pit road
out.
is going to be so busy. It looks like everybody's going in.
Yeah, we have Bruno Clemente, Eduardo Zamora, Tyler Torville, all of the top front runners. A lot of the leaders in class, basically, for all four classes, making their way down pit road.
Looks like Torville was up on Jax. Might have been looking at some tires for the first stop. So
interesting.
We're gonna see how that plays out because traditionally, taking those tires early in the race can kind of get you in trouble because you got to get them into the window. So you're gonna be losing some pace relative to that. And then also it's just saving some time just by not taking those tires. It can have an impact. LMP3 filtering out with GT4s, that's going to be spicy.
Yeah, this battle here, I'm watching where Mike Bowen comes back out to then see he was on Jack's 21.02 seconds, same as Vincent LaRue, pretty much. 21.47 for Vincent LaRue, I think it is. The tire or fuel only stop for both those drivers. As they get back underway, Michael Lively as well. 2 seconds slower though in that gap between Vincent.
We got Sean Sullivan spinning.
Oh boy, let's see if I can.
He was also coming out of.
Oh yeah, I see him right there. We walked right past him.
One of the early stops, but it does look like he might have a little bit of damage on the front end. I don't know if that's from earlier in the race or not.
He hit that wall pretty good.
I have an Ethan Hamlet
coming out of International too.
Why is that?
Oh, no.
It's just where I picked him up.
Oh,
never mind. Sorry.
Gotcha. So with more pit stops coming in for I believe G3 runners and the front of the LMP3 field, Jaden Ledbetter, Jack Wilkins, Scott Fleming, Chris Turner, all into the pits.
All those who stayed out an extra lap, so do a little bit of fuel saving there. Mark Robeson also making his way in, I think. Oh, nope. It just was being weird to me. Anthony Newman, currently out still. The leader of GT3. I think he has yet to stop, or one of a few drivers
he has
yet to stop.
Anthony Newman has not stopped yet.
Yep.
I'm double checking this LMP3 field as the order comes around. Michael Bowen has cleared. Jaden Ledbetter looks like he might slot in front of Vincent LaRue. So good stop from Jaden. I mean, kind of in the middle in terms of actual pit times, but still comes out in front of Vincent. Michael Lively, that 2 seconds looks like that cost them.
Yeah. That 2 seconds definitely cost him. I'm super curious if my timing tower is off or Jaden really has that much faster pit lane travel time, which looks very short to me, but I think it's just my SDK really struggling with the number of cars we're dealing with tonight, and this is a bit of a unique problem for me.
Pit lane travel time.
I have 23.21. I have 23.1 on mine as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So pit lane travel time for me, I mean, it's kind of run of the mill.
Okay.
I think, to be honest, what was the big factor for Jaden is I don't know if he was hitting some sort of number or what to get that bonus lap relative to the rest of the other LMP3 field, but kind of his pace going into that pit stop was actually pretty good. Like he was setting fastest laps in LMP3, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of wondering if he was just trying to hit a target number and then trying to basically maximize the pace on what would be his laps before coming in. And try and get that leapfrog on Michael Lively and Vincent LaRue. The pit stop for Michael Lively really helped him out, though.
Yeah, that is very true. Kyle Potter and Tommy Kogan fighting for what will essentially be time holding up Potter as Tommy Kogan has yet to pit. So,
yeah, Kogan going for, well, actually, Kogan, I've got Kogan in at a pit stop. I'm checking right now. He was on lap 15. So this is actually for true blue position right here for third.
Gotcha.
Yep. So, other pit stops.
Whoa.
Just taking a. Oh,
Who did I see? I just watched them drive past somebody. Who was it? Hold on.
was it Leckenby?
I think so. I'm not. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That is a
That's
shot. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Why is he
looking back
so far
through it.
down on the apron?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Boy.
Great heads up driving for both Tommy Kogan and Kyle Potter to not get clocked
Not
by
sure what happened there with
I don't know either.
with the move to the apron.
that. Yeah.
But that said, looks like Leckenby back to the pits.
Yeah.
Was gonna say, taking a look at other pit stop right now. We've got Torville and it looks like, well, actually now it looks like Henry Garcia might be out in front of the GT4 field.
It looks like it. Henry Garcia winning the pit stop duel by a decent margin.
Yeah, because Torville, I've got Torville on the jacks for 36.9 seconds.
Oh, man,
we knew he
that
took
drops
tires.
Yeah.
We knew he took tires. But the total pit lane travel time was 114.3. So either it was the tires or just a combination of things on the pit stop for Tyler. But he's got some recovery to do to catch back up to Tanner Schiffner in what I believe is third in GT4 Pro.
Yep. Third in GT4 Pro and GT4 overall. They are battling it out. Tanner Schiffner now up also with Nathaniel Rodman and Henry Garcia as well for the battle for the lead. And taking a look as well, Mark Robeson trying to hold off Brandon Vincent Squibb. See how these two are working. I'm just kind of flipping through a couple of battles on track. I'm going to dive back into that GT4 Pro lead battle. The 3 cars change, but the 3 cars are still... There are 3 cars battling for GT4 Pro.
Same 3 cars. Oh, no. We have Schiffner in there now.
Yeah.
Instead
Tanner
of Torville.
in the M4 is in the mix. And looks like we've got some LMP3s catching up to him in the background.
I believe so.
Might be Chris Turner. It does look like Chris Turner.
It is Chris Turner.
Yep.
I see them red wheels. Good for an extra 5 HP. We are we're getting slotted into the middle stint of the race now with 33 minutes burned off the clock. 20 laps of what is currently estimated to be 100. I don't think we're that far, but
no,
I think we have 21 left.
Yeah.
But traffic management in this format has gone from mildly difficult to difficult like climbing a smooth rock wall. Because with the GT3s and LMP3s getting kind of intermixed sometimes within that GT4 traffic, that is very interesting. Although, actually, to be honest, we haven't seen a whole lot of LMP3 interaction on track, have we?
Not a ton.
No.
The leaders of LMP3 have only lapped, I think, 3 of all of the GT3 drivers, so that are on track. So I think it's also a matter of pace. You know, they have not reached the meat of the GT3 pack.
Right.
So I'm looking right now, and in terms of data to be paying attention to, I'd be looking at probably Nathaniel Redmond or Christopher Blue, and Christopher Blue actually closing in on Eduardo Zamora
Ooh,
in
yeah.
Currently running 29th overall, but I believe Eduardo Zamora is sitting in what would that be in pro
Oh,
Let's see.
8th, 9th,
Yeah, eighth.
8th. So Christopher Blue kind of in the mix right now with some of those GT4 Pro drivers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're catching Lee Wu.
William Lewis about 9 seconds behind Chris Blue, so a
oof.
good gap for Chris Blue at the start of the season here.
I mean, Chris Blue to pro win.
Gob
GT3,
Chavez.
wow.
Paying attention, realizing that he's not trying to race a GT3, and pulls off to the side.
It is definitely holding that draft as long as he can, or just trying to give us all heart palpitations on stream, whichever. Pick your poison.
Probably a mix of both. So
why not both?
Yeah. Oscar Brown, another newcomer, trying to take the fight for the other 2 steps of the GT4 AM podium to William Lewis, trying to decide who gets to stand next to Christopher Blue on, I think, the left side if we're looking at them. We're going off the standard trio of how those do podiums.
I think so with the pit stops coming in, so the majority of LMP3 field came in lap 15. I did see a majority of GT4s coming in on lap 13 for them, which would be effectively 15 laps for the LMP3s. But
Yes.
the thing is so we're going to be looking at probably we've got 5 laps down for the GT4s. So we got another 8 laps before they're going to potentially pop into the pits for their second stop of the race.
Yep.
Yeah, and the pit stop battles, with the exception of Tyler Torville, majority of the field kind of got out pretty quick. Actually, the only other person in the 30s, we had 2 other cars in the 30s. We had Christopher Blue, 36.3.
Yeah.
And then we had David Lively. Well, actually, Dave Schneider and Dave Lively in the 38s. I'm kind of curious. So both of them taking the tires early, perhaps? Could be interesting.
I know last season we had a few races where people would take no tires for the entire race and try to suss it out and still end up finishing really well with 0 tires for the race. So fuel only the entire race, no tires, getting track position on that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can keep the spins down and you can really control the car, seems like an okay strategy, right?
Right. If you can keep it planted, I mean, that's the problem though. After long runs, those tires are shot.
Yeah. What do you think, Finn? I know you've done some racing here recently in TCR machinery. Is it kind of like steel? Is 23 laps not enough really to really worry about tires in a TCR?
In a TCR? Yeah, I don't think so. 23, it also depends on how long the lap time is. So lap times here, I think 23 is a reasonable number. For GT4s, I would say it never, from what I remember of the fuel times, the you could take 2 tires still and be okay. It only adds, I think, a couple seconds. 4 tires where you get to see that extra 10 seconds floating around to take all 4.
Right.
Redmond on top right there at 52.99 in GT4 Pro, fastest time.
Very good. See, he's working his way back up. See how he's handling. He's still Henry Garcia fighting off Nathaniel Redmond. Let's see what happened to the gearbox here. Take a quick look from
shot
behind him.
especially with the the sun going down. You got the nice amber sky.
Yeah. Track lights, which for some reason the infield ones aren't actually there, but their lights are. But the ones outside are. I don't know.
It does that to me all the time.
It's a mystery.
As they are going around NASCAR 3 and 4. Keeping an
Got
eye on
Ethan
them.
passing. I don't know. Remember who that car is? The Aces car. That'd be third.
Tyler Trovel? Or Tanner Schiffner?
Yeah.
Or
Turbo.
Gotcha. So Ethan Hamlin.
Sorry, I don't have the liveries memorized yet.
It's okay.
Neither do we.
Got Pat.
No. I do my best to keep as many in my head as I can, but the answer is usually however many stick around.
Right.
Yeah.
So just flipping through our LMP3 field. Michael Lively getting passed by Jack Wilkins, who's had a fantastic second stint here. Only 6 seconds behind Vincent LaRue and the rest of the field.
I mean, he had an absolute blistering pit stop. He won. He did the double bonus lap for lap 16 along with Chris Turner. Punched in 18.2 seconds on the jacks, a 55.32 full pit lane travel time for Wilkins.
Jeez.
Moving.
Yeah, definitely gone for the fuel-only light fuel strat to do the second stop early to take him to the finish.
We got the leaders of GT4 and GT3 going at it on the track right now. And Ethan is passed.
Ethan has survived, gotten around Henry Garcia and the rest of those drivers. Really kind of spread out, at least Nathaniel Redmond and Henry Garcia, by a little bit, stretching those 0.2 out to 0.5.
I think we're probably going to see LMP3s in maybe for their final stop.
Should be, I think,
About 5 laps time?
Yeah, in about 5 laps time, I think we'll see the last of that. And then they will be probably free and clear to the end at that point with about 20 minutes left to go.
I mean, just based on what I'm seeing here, it seems to be like pace is the big thing. And Jaden has a horror show happening here. Just disappearing cars.
Disappearing cars. I think Jaden really got the run on Mike Bowen early on here because of GT3 traffic.
His pace has been so quick. Last lap was a 42.8. Michael Bowen with a 44.4.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the only other person running with Jaden right now is going to be Jack Wilkins with a 42.85.
Just shaving a lot of time off. And Mike Bowen, I think, trying to serve a slowdown and then braking earlier than some of the GT3 counterparts.
Ooh.
Some fun over-unders. GT3's Jaden Ledbetter just 3 seconds up the road already compared to Mike Bowen. I wonder if there's some fuel saving going on.
Could be. I mean, Mike Bowen, I mean, he was one of the 15 lappers. I mean, he's not running the same fuel strat that it looks like Jaden, Chris Turner and Jack Wilkins are running. The only other person on 16-lap strategy is Scott Fleming, but he's down in 11th right now.
10th.
Yeah.
Oh, 10th, yeah.
Oh,
no,
11th. Sorry, my leaderboard
He's
just updated.
Yeah.
No, you good. Good.
Ooh.
Here we go.
44 car coming down into J.
And there's our LMP3 GT4 interaction, because I believe that is Kerry Nolan in the Mustang behind Jaden.
Correct.
Difference really shown here, I think, between the two of them and how they extract their pace. Jaden able to keep kind of the foot almost flat through the bus stop. Meanwhile, Kerry Nolan having to brake going into that to keep the car from sliding out from under him because of the lack of downforce by comparison. Jaden wanting the inside line to these two cars of Zachary Fisher and Rodrigo Souza. Just hopping to the outside line. Just taking a look as well. Fluid on the order. Trying to see Mark Robeson trying to keep up with Brandon Vincent Squibb.
That was a 42-1 for Jaden last lap.
Oh, fantastic.
Top
Fastest
speed for
lap.
Jaden in the speed trap is a 295 kilometers per hour. The next fastest, or excuse me, the only LMP3 that is faster in the speed trap would be Chris Turner at 297.
Gotcha. Retro Coffin coming around this battle for P4 of GT4 Pro and GT4 overall. Sean Sullivan as well, working his way around the two Porsches in GT3, working around two Mercedes in GT4. Let's see. William Lewis kind of trying to take points away from Ryan Buchanan. Chris Turner working his way around these two cars. As the battle for the overall lead continues between these three drivers. Sorry, overall lead of GT4 and GT4 Pro, not LMP3 leaders.
This battle being close pretty much from the jump has been a lot of fun to watch. Jaden just keeping the pace coming with a 42.21 last lap, and he's just continuing to put in work.
Fantastic. We have a couple of
Anthony Newman is in the pits. It might be early stop for Anthony.
Well, he stopped early the first time around as well, if I remember correctly. So
yeah.
I think technically he does have enough fuel to make it to the end. Oh,
whoa.
Sean Sullivan, unfortunately, almost breaking up this battle for Tanner Schiffner that we're riding along board with. But he then pushes out Henry Garcia. Henry Garcia gonna get shoved out of the way. Nathaniel Redmond gonna capitalize on that, take over the lead of the race for GT4 from Henry Garcia.
Unfortunate.
And we'll see a quick top down of these three cars.
There?
I didn't
Henry
think there was
got some straight line pace on. Oh, are they going to
touch?
touch? That was cheeky.
So close.
That
Henry
was
Garcia
very
having to
cheeky.
lift to not hit Nathaniel Redmond and cause a crash.
Although I think that might have goofed Nathaniel's entry into the bus stop.
I think Henry Garcia definitely has the pace. You can see him closing right now. If you look.
Ooh. He is just making that gap disappear.
Yeah. The straight line speed for Henry Garcia in that setup definitely shown there. Daniel Redmond taking the inside line. Henry Garcia alongside on the outside. Mark Bowen in the LMP3 braking, keeping that line clear. Nathaniel Redmond running wide, running shallow, tracking out.
And Tanner's just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, Mark Bowen trying to find his way around these three cars.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how you manage traffic.
Yes.
Just take that, just put that on loop. Somebody clip that, post that on the internet, put it in Reddit, and say, hey guys, guess what? LMP3s can pass GT4s and not kill anyone.
There's LaRue having to do the same thing. Oh, slots in between Tanner Schiffner. Tanner Schiffner almost running into Vincent LaRue.
Throw the anchors out.
Vincent LaRue adding distance between Henry Garcia and Nathaniel Redmond. Once again.
Yeah, good race so far as we get that 50-minute mark.
Mark Coyne working his way around Ethan Hamlet for position. Mark Coyne has made his second stop of the evening.
Ooh.
Just want to take a quick check on that. Hop back over to this battle for the lead of GT4 Pro.
About to be broken up by Kerry.
Yeah, Kerry already kind of forcing Tanner out of this fight. Let's see how far back he is by comparison to the other two. Jack Wilkins also working his way through these guys as they get around to the start-finish stretch. Once again, Henry Garcia. Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Jack Wilkins
Tanner's
diving
a
into the pit
second and a
lane.
half. Oh. Oh.
And-
Almost loses.
Keeps it under
Okay.
control. Oh, boy. These two. Intense heat for the lead of the race for GT4 Pro. Tyler Troville, I think, also diving into pit lane for the second stop of the evening.
Orville going to try and see if he can make up time in the pits relative to that first stop. Watching Jack's times as he's getting ready to come out of the pits. Bruno Clemente's in the pits as well.
Oh,
Looks like gas only for Torville.
that makes
Also
sense.
looks like Christopher Blue and Ryan Duquesne both in as well.
Ryan Kane.
Jack Wilkins has been on Jack for 43 seconds, and it's still counting up.
Feels like he went through all of his quick repairs and is now having
He is
full
sitting
repairs done.
still.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate. We have eclipsed a minute.
Oh,
Yeah, that is unfortunate for Jack.
he's actually back out on the circuit.
57.9 seconds.
Bruno Clemente on the
I
outlap.
wonder if he might had. You know
Oh.
what? I wonder. We didn't
Speaking-
talk about this with the LMP3s in particular. I wonder if any of these guys that have these sometimes have floor damage.
I would be
Ooh.
curious, yeah.
Bear.
Mike Bowen also in from P2 of this race. Vincent LaRue setting the fastest lap of the race this last time by. 142.13. Chris Blue spun on
sideways?
Sideways.
sideways on the
Hits.
pit exit. Chris, what happened?
That's a first.
The back end is gone.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna back this up a little bit. Let's bear with me. We're gonna kind of do a mulligan.
We're gonna solve the mystery.
Yeah, I want to solve the mystery. I want to see what happened at least.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. Well, I think he.
Austin Powersing it.
Yeah.
Trying to Austin Powers it.
Well, what the heck?
Oh,
happened?
is that a-
No. Well, there's. Okay, so self spins. Yeah, self spins.
Oh
Yep.
no!
Too much gas coming
Too
through
much-
there.
Yep, and then almost takes out Jack Wilkins, who has a quick reaction time to keep it out of the wall. And there goes, I believe
Oof.
that's Ryan Buchanan.
Oh, and then he just touches the wall, and then
Yeah.
the bumper's gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunate for Christopher Blue.
Ah.
Christopher Blue having such a good race now finds himself 5th in GT4 AM.
Oh. Kerry Nolan, Anthony Newman in a battle for sixth, excuse me.
Sixth.
Yes. Oh, in the inside for Anthony Newman. Kerry Nolan holding his position there. Two of them going side by
Okay.
side on the exit of the pit lane. Anthony Newman trying to get the faster route out,
In
Kerry
and out.
Nolan.
And
saying, I'm still here. I have not gone anywhere. We'll see how they do on the start finish or the NASCAR 2
Up.
coming up to the bus stop, still side by side. There's
Oh,
contact
they're
between the
catching.
two of them. Both maintain it. And Kerry Nolan backs out to take the bus stop and not crash.
Wisely backs out because he can get a run on Newman now.
I bet
He's
Chris
got-
Turner is just like, please don't kill me.
Yeah, Chris Turner trying to work around these two GT3 drivers.
Vince LaRue, 14
Zero
seconds
run.
on the jacks.
Ooh,
Still waiting
quick.
for Jaden Ledbetter to pit.
Yeah, and Chris Turner kind of I can't tell if he's trying to bump draft or fuel save. Anthony Newman looking to make up time there. Both have taken their second stop, so this is a battle for position between these two.
And Turner is just waiting.
Well, it's not
much else he could do there.
Yeah, I would say there's not really a good way to go around him. And they're going to dive out. Oh, but Anthony waits till the last second. Chris Turner now having to react to avoid hitting him. Zachary Fisher watching these three cars go around him and trying not to die.
My heart's in my throat.
All three get around Zachary Fisher successfully. And they're back up the road, but the gap between Anthony Newman and Kerry Nolan now over a second.
Ooh, Newman getting a little loose coming on to NASCAR.
A little bit, but Kerry Nolan has a faster run, not by much, but has gained a couple tenths there. Jaden finally into the pit lane, I believe. It's just showing him weird. Yes, that is him in the pit lane. It's just
he had 15.23 in the box. We're going to see how Vincent and Michael Bowen's times end up factoring in.
Yeah, he is. There's Mike Bowen. He is clear up the road, dealing with GT4 traffic. So Mike Bowen is going to capitalize on that pretty significantly, closing that gap down.
And Vince LaRue should be in the background of the shot as well.
Yep, that he is, just right behind him. 3 seconds between Mike Bowen and Vincent LaRue. Mike Bowen trying to avoid getting boxed in too seriously. And all the time he gained watching this happen to Jaden Ledbetter, immediately lost as he does the same thing and has to work around.
Careful.
GT4 is running too wide as there's a fight going on. We're watching Mike Bowen for position in GT4 AM right there between Todd Torville, William Lewis, David Coulson.
Oh. Michael Lively has crashed.
Michael Lively has crashed. Take a look, see if my replay spooler will spool it up. A bus stop. This is another taking too much curb. Tries to hold on to it. Oh, just takes the runoff and parks it.
I think he's just done.
Oh. And then Lee Wu, also labeled as crashed.
Yeah, after that pit stop where he had
too much.
That really long pit stop. I think
gets it going. Oh, good reaction there.
I think that caught him out, unfortunately.
I would think so as well. Unfortunately, yeah, I believe it did catch him out pretty significantly.
I gotta wonder if that's a floor thing, because I'm just trying to think in my head, like, if you got the fast repair, when you use it, but there could have been another reason.
I always held on to my fast repairs until I absolutely needed them. I had to be limping back to the pits before I used my fast repair.
Oscar Brown, Ryan McCain.
Jane's got to navigate some more GT4 traffic. That's keeping Michael Bowen in touch.
Ryan McCain. Oscar Brown. Almost having a moment there, both keeping it calm and collected.
Dude, okay, so the West logo on the car, nice touch. Just saying, if you know, you know.
Word.
Henry Garcia. Now, is that real? Where is he? Let's go up ahead and it's just not marking it. So Henry Garcia is kind of on an island. 6 seconds. Behind him.
Yeah. With Torville, like Tyler Torville had that long stop.
Yep.
It pushed him out of contention, but it does look like he has been able to since recover P3.
Well,
but Henry Garcia
has not done a second stop yet, so Garcia is still running. Has yet to stop for his second time.
Yeah,
it's labeling it as he stopped on lap 28 for me.
Garcia.
Yeah.
I'll check real quick. Because mine seems to be a little bit more accurate than yours.
Yeah, I
I
think
see
I've got
28.
some-
I see 28. I see
Okay.
28 for him. I see 27 for Schiffner, and I
Okay.
see 26 for
So mine
Torville.
is off.
Yeah, but Garcia was a 17.85,
Okay.
whereas both Schiffner was a 22.4,
Okay.
Torville was a 21.2.
Gotcha.
And it does look like the big jump was, it looks like Tyler Torville getting around Matt Pyle to get back up into third.
Yeah. Oh, Sean Lockwood
Ooh.
navigating that traffic successfully. Fantastic. I'm loving the sheer number of LMP3s I'm seeing on the track.
Me
Gotta be
too.
honest.
Me too. And it is really refreshing when we don't.
I loaded
Whoa.
into intense
What happened
multi-class. Nothing bad, thankfully.
Ooh.
But 3 different classes trying to get around
Rewind
at
through
3
the
different rates.
NASCAR.
Yeah,
Yep,
Vincent
the
Leroux, I
run
think 11 seconds back.
of Mike Bowen.
Yep.
Got, I think, caught up earlier laps. You can see kind of the pace differential as the LMP3 has better acceleration, but a shorter top end. As you saw Kyle Potter go from being left behind to keeping up to almost trying to catch him before they got into the bus stop. And then obviously there's a big gap there as the GT3s have to slow down a lot further for the bus stop then.
So big fights to watch. We got Kerry Nolan's catching back up to Anthony Newman. And then we got
Ooh,
Tyler
let's go.
Torville, Matt Pyle again in the mix.
Ooh.
Let's follow
Yeah,
these
it's a
two
drag
again.
race.
It's a drag race. Kerry Nolan's got that V8 motor of the Ford Mustang, but I think has
Who
more
backs out
downforce because Anthony Newman doing better. I heard crashing.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh!
Oh.
Unfortunate for Anthony
David.
Newman, and his front end. Oh wait a minute, his front end just came back, so he might be okay. Might just
He
be a
might.
crumpled
and Kerry
front
Nolan
end and not
runs
something
really,
significant.
really wide there. So Anthony Newman
He
back
could
on the
just be
hunt.
collecting himself after
Yeah.
witnessing that.
Let's take a quick look here. I heard William Lewis. I see William Lewis class. Let's keep an eye on this here. This is what will lead into the incident that, just super late and just bounces off the. So then,
Oh wow!
David
and then
Coulson,
the car is
who's
toast.
who's right behind them, somehow ends up in front of those two. I'm trying to figure out what happened there. Oh, just a self spin? Yeah, a self spin right at the wrong moment, and then Anthony Newman watches the bumper go flying off the car and then onto the car.
Oh, as he reset. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, tough
But-
race, but Jaden Ledbetter getting into the 41.8s in the LMP3, so he is he's moving.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's Torville, it's Matt Pyle, it's
Tanner Schiffner
Scott
also
Fleming.
wrapped up in that fight between Tyler
Yeah.
Torville and Matt Pyle.
We are at the 1 hour 3 minute mark. We got less than 6 minutes
Yes.
left in this
Right.
race.
It's getting to be crunch time.
That it is. Sean Sullivan navigating around these 3 cars. About half a second separates each of them. About almost less than a second, separates all 3 of them. 2/10 between Tyler Torville and Tanner Schiffner. Tanner Schiffner
Ooh.
kind of having to do the aero work and losing time from the draft. So there's a fight with Scott Fleming. Was he chasing down Mark Robeson or is that somebody else? He was being chased down by Sean Lockwood.
Torville is catching Schiffner.
Oh, fantastic. Quick look, see how they're doing here in LMP3. Just going to follow the Jaden Ledbetter kind of on his own for the moment.
Ooh.
get into some LMP3 traffic. This is the same fight we were just watching. Matt Pyle, Tyler Torville, and Tanner Schiffner all in a battle for
And
top
Ethan and Jaden.
Yes, and Ethan and Jaden. Sorry, excuse me. Those three individuals and the other two leaders of the other two classes, all in one spot.
Good lord.
As they work their way around, Tanner Schiffner trying to hold on to P2 in GT4 Pro, as well as overall. And there's two cars behind him wanting to take it away. Two more podium spots to fight for these three cars. Someone is going to eventually be bumped off. Crash. Hold on. Oh. That's the same one. I think it's the same one. Just a
Got Newman going around with Mark Cohn right now.
Gotcha.
So less than 4 minutes as Ledbetter holds a 3.5 second gap on Bowen.
Mm.
And then your GT3 field, Ethan Hamlet. Although it's weird, I'm seeing the interval collapse down to 34 meters between him and Gab Chavez. Did something happen? Why is Ethan in?
It's because my system is doing fun things where it isn't loading all the cars at once, so it just kind of stops rendering those. So something we'll work on in between sessions, because I think that's definitely something that's not functioning as intended. Let's figure out where.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
And then we got Schiffner still in second with Torville closing in.
Mm-hmm. Those three still in a fight with Matt Pyle also involved. Take a quick look to see this battle in LMP3 for P5. Brandon Vincent Squibb, Mark Coyne having pretty similar pace times. Mark Coyne 0.2 slower this past lap than Brandon Vincent Squibb. David Coulson and the GT4 Aston Martin spun earlier, got back going. And Kerry Nolan here.
So Torville is 0.4 off Schiffner, and keeping an eye on that battle.
Very good.
Coyne is giving Vincent Squibb a run for his money here.
Mm-hmm. The gap kind of remaining around half a second. Mark Coyne had some faster laps in a vacuum, or in the laps where they didn't have to deal with traffic. There are.
Let's look at between Torville and Schiffner right now, less than a tenth.
Yep. Too wide. Torville looking to make it pass on the outside down the front stretch.
Matt Pyle is just waiting to see if these two come together.
Mm-hmm. Being patient, running his line. Torville backs out of it. Matt Pyle late on the brakes, trying to keep up with it. Oh, so close between those two. As they come in, Tanner Schiffner holding onto it for the moment. That 51 BMW over and under, looking for Tyler Torville and that 0-2.
To pinch him off here in the kink as they get ready to go into the next horseshoe.
Yeah, but Tanner Schiffner using all that road and not all three of them. Nose to tail.
He's going to use it.
It's very true.
And let's take a peek at Mr. Jaden Ledbetter, because it could be checkered flag when he comes across. Yes.
Take a quick look. White
It
flag
will
is
be.
already out. I believe it will.
Yep.
Yeah, it should be checkered flag
Jaden Ledbetter.
when he comes
with
back
haste.
around.
Just using his pace, I think. Really just capitalizing.
Mm-hmm. And Barry switches that, or Barney, excuse me, switches the flag. Jaden Ledbetter, your winner of LMP3. Mike Bowen in second. Vincent LaRue rounding out that podium for LMP3. Oh, a big shunt for John Newman by Gab Chavez. Gab Chavez trying to give some grace back, but in the process, nearly killing Vincent LaRue in the process. Ethan Hamlet, I believe, is already also finished, taking home lead win. And Gab Chavez finishing just then. Kyle Potter.
Oh, that was close. Where did Schiffner and Torville come out?
It looks like Torville got Schiffner at the end by one.
That
was
insane.
Oh, well, let's see. Let's see if
you can run that back. You run that back.
That was intense. From the bus stop back.
Okay, cool. Give me something, please. Nope.
I might need to go live and then just rewind it. Oh, there we go.
All right. Well,
we're gonna go get that stop for you, or that spot.
We're looking to. We're gonna grab
right there. We're not missing that one. Sorry.
There we go. Okay, cool.
What does it look like coming out of the bus stop? Because that's got to be the setup, man.
Yeah.
It was absolutely intense.
I think that's where nope. We have it. We just gotta bear with a brief hiccup. Nope. That's right where we need to be.
And there's Matt Pyle. Matt Pyle's with him.
Yep.
Okay. So
that's
he gets the run. And again, we were talking about this before, right? Didn't it seem like Torville had good straight line pace?
Right. Out of the turn, out of the bus stop, he was getting it.
A little bit of touch there with the wall, and then give it a second for it to come back. We'll slow it down as they cross almost at the sink there.
Yeah.
Whew.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, that was wild.
What a finish.
What about the rest of the order? Let's jump back to the live feed and get the rest of the order there.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna hop over to the results.
The results, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Get all of the results and finishes for the first round of the season 2 2025 Track Limits Racing at Daytona on the road course. Your winner for the first round, Jaden Ledbetter, alongside him, 5 seconds behind, Mike Bowen in second, Vincent LaRue in third, Chris Turner in fourth, Brandon Vincent Squibb rounding out the top 5, barely holding off by a 10th to Mark Coyne. Jack Wilkins in 7th after that unfortunate pit stop problem had him fall back down the order. Mark Robeson in 8th, Scott Fleming in 9th, Jashawn Lockwood in 10th, and then in 11th it's going to be Michael Lively, Paul Miles rounding out the 12 finishers of this first race in LMP3 in GT3. Logan, how are we looking?
GT3s, we have Ethan Hamlet, who burnouts at the Tri-Oval, Gab Chavez, Kyle Potter, Jan Rodriguez, Tommy Kogan, Kerry Nolan, Anthony Newman, Brandon Potts, Bruno Clemente, and Sean Sullivan.
I think that is your 10 finishers, or 10 entrants for GT3. I did this backwards. I asked Phil last time. I asked you this time for GT3. So, Phil, GT4, Pro AM.
Yeah, GT4 Pro. So, Henry Garcia coming across with that win. That 5-second gap to Tanner Schiffner was definitely interesting. Oh, okay. So, we were seeing it different. I bet it was giving us like the live timing and stuff like that. So, Tanner Schiffner does manage to get second place, but by a hair. What is that? Plus 428 to 431.
3,000.
So 3 thousandths of a second between Tanner and Tyler. So that right there, I don't know about you guys, but GT4 Pro is looking
it's gonna
particularly
be
spicy. So I'm definitely here for this. Matt Pyle is going to come across the line in 4th place. Good hard fought battle for Matt. Newcomer Mike Gallant going to finish in 5th in the 93. Lee Wu coming across 6th. Eduardo Zamora, another tough race for Eduardo in the Aston Martin. Again, this is somebody that we talked about last season who had it tough. And it seems like I don't know if it's black cats, broken mirrors, walking under ladders. But Eduardo, you got the pace, man. We just got to figure out what's going on and get you closer up to the top there. Nathaniel Redmond, after the pace that he had on Lolly in this race, just managed to come across the line in 8th. Ryan Buchanan in 9th. David Colson in 10th. Zachary Fisher, newcomer, in 11th, with Jameson Leckenby and Austin Green in 13th. That's GT4 Pro. Do you want me to go ahead and do the AM as well?
I mean, it's up to you, or I could do AM. It's 8 more drivers.
You do it.
All right, I'll do it. Rounding out.
Yep.
Our 4 classes we have here this evening. GT4 AM, Oscar Brown taking home the win, 17 seconds to Christopher Blue. After that unfortunate pit lane exit accident cost Christopher Blue the win there. Todd Torville coming in 3rd. John Newman in 4th, having a unfortunate last-minute incident going over the checkered flag that nearly cost both him, Gab Chavez, as well as Vince LaRue some positions there. David Schneider in 5th, Rodrigo Souza in 6th, William Lewis in 7th, and David Lively in 8th are your 8 GT4 AM drivers who take home the checkered flag in their respective positions. So, first race, thoughts. Let's go around. Start with Logan. What are your thoughts after our first race here?
That was intense. There was a lot to look at all times. I mean, there was something going on at every time on the track. Hell of a first race to be up here with you guys.
You did well. You did great. I think Finn, this one, like we came in, like I definitely had my assumptions. I thought that with Daytona being a long road circuit, that the LMP3s would struggle more alongside the GT3s. There definitely were some moments where it was a bit hairy, but all in all, I think, cooler heads prevailed most of the time. I'm not gonna speak of Black Flag Ledbetter, but the racing action was good. I think it's a great start. I cannot wait for us to get to round 2. I do want to do a quick shout out to Red Rum Dragon Racing for the follow as well. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the support.
Absolutely. I think this was a fantastic race. I think the racing across all 4 classes, if you want to split up the GT4s and the Pro and AM, is going to be pretty tight. Like GT4 Pro, we followed that last battle for the lead over the last 15-20 minutes, coming back to it every now and then, checking up on it, finding what we really wanted to dial in on. And I think we'll see more of that battling, I think, pretty much the entire season. GT3, I think, got spread out really early due to a couple of those early race incidents. And again, with a 10-car field, I think it's going to be one of the classes we see be a little bit on the quieter side. I'm not against it. I think we'll see some interesting battles that are still all the same, like we saw with Kerry Nolan, Anthony Newman battling it out for 5th. I think we'll see that. That'll be a fantastic one.
Yeah.
And so I think that those will be really interesting. GT4 AM always heats up over the course of the season. Tonight was kind of more of a quiet one. I think the unsung kind of, almost war, or not really war, but like, the battle that happened there in the pit lane between Christopher Blue, Oscar Brown, and the win that got lost there, I think is Christopher Blue is definitely going to be kicking himself for that a little bit, but he has plenty to remember for next time to be a little more cautious in the pit lane. So I think there's battles all up and down the grid. I think it's going to be a fantastic season with this racing as anything to go by. I think there will be, hopefully, just as few drama moments I think we had that were really, I would say problematic. I don't think we had anything that was, I think, too egregious. Outside of, Black Flag Ledbetter just pit turning John Newman for no reason.
That guy.
Yeah.
You want to know, so all this talk about things being quiet in GT3, but would you like to know what we have in store for this season coming in round 2?
Ooh, I would love to know.
Okayama. We are going to be taking this gaggle of folks to Okayama. It's going to be wild, ladies and gentlemen. You definitely want to you definitely are going to want to check that out. That's going to be a really good show. GT3s, I think, yep, and the new GT3 tire model will be in place.
Right.
It's going to be super, super wild at Okayama. I love that track, and I think that track is definitely going to start testing people's patience pretty early on in the season. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
It's gonna be fun.
So between that, I think the rest of the season, I think, has plenty of great racing in store beyond Okayama. So definitely not something to miss, because immediately following the weekend after Okayama is Interlagos, which I'm personally very excited about. I think it's our broadcaster pick of the season.
Yep, so. I'm pumped for that one too. I think that one's going to be wild. We just got so many good tracks this season, and I'm here for it. And I think that Daytona was a really good start for sure.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to let y'all go. I will say, Phil, do we have someone to raid?
Let's go take a peek real fast. I can go find somebody for it.
I'll have you work on that in the background. We'll wrap this up. This has been the first round Daytona Road Course for Track Limits Racing 2025 Season 2. In 2 weeks' time on June 14th, we will see you back here at around 8:50, 8:45-ish. We'll start a little early again because we do have a quick conversation with Ethan Hamlet here, who won tonight, about how GT3 slots in with the other two classes from previous seasons. Just a quick one right at the beginning before the race at Okayama. So stay tuned for that in 2 weekends' time. If you want to check out things that we do here, simgrid.com/tracklimitsracing, or check out our Discord. We've linked it a couple times here. The exclamation point Discord. There we go. Is also available there. So you can check out the Discord, get involved if that's the sort of thing you're into. And then we will see you all in 2 weeks' time at Okayama.
Yep. So we're going to get the raid fired up for MX5 all day.
Sweet.
But this was good.
Absolutely. I've been Fettuccini. With me and the booth this weekend has been Logan and Phil. And we will see you all very soon.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
Have a good night, y'all.